Hello, everyone. Welcome to the VESL, Varsity Esports and STEM League. We got ourselves some qualifiers here, the Valorant Regional Qualifiers, $15,000 prize pool on the line, and tons of days of games. All best of ones here today, and today there will be 4 best of ones. We're going to see a variety of teams. We are not the only stream, however, so if you do want to check out everything that is going on, there is also a B stream, and then there are literally so many games going on that we had to go ahead and have some people play off stream. So we're going to try and keep up to date with who's moving and grooving, doing really well as this week continues. It's all of this week, Monday through Friday. They'll be casting some of these teams, but we'll keep you up to date just by word of mouth. And I am Zombie Grub. If you've never seen me before in Valorant, I believe many of you have seen Captain Ahsoka. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for, as I always say, carrying me through the Valorant cast. You are quite the shooter caster. I've seen a lot of your work, actually. I was checking you out. I was
Oh
looking
my
you up,
God.
not gonna lie.
Whoa, okay, you got me blushing over here. I was not prepared for that because honestly, we were talking, even in the green room before this, I am a self-proclaimed, self-identified idiot. So, again, I appreciate that. I'm kind of just, I guess I'm failing upward, if that makes sense. I don't know. But regardless, I am very excited once again to be back for VESL. Last week we covered Smash. It was awesome. I loved it. VESL right now definitely is the hot spot when it comes to a lot of the collegiate action for esports, or rather high school. Regardless, when it comes to academic esports, this is where you want to be. Again, we've been seeing some great competition, and now we get to do Valorant, and I love Valorant so much. Such a big place in my cholesterol-filled heart. I just cannot wait to get into this.
Rated the best esport, right? Gamer Academy Award, something along those lines. Yeah, but I'm excited to do some Valorant as well. But seriously, this seems to do a ton of games and just the high school and college, I guess, just stuff. All the tournaments that are happening and all like the scholarships that are happening. It's actually been a real delight to see, coming from a background which we tried to do back in 2010. It was kind of a little bumpy, and then a lot of these newer games to me, because I'm a StarCraft 2 person, I've really been kicking in butt with a lot of the collegiate as well as high school stuff. So I'm always excited to get into it, see some of the perhaps up and coming stars as they move over into college, and then perhaps over into professional play would be pretty cool. Let's go ahead and actually get some faces to the names that we'll be casting here. We're going to hear some words from the JT Williams team here in a sec.
We're JT Williams. We're here to win.
My name's Henry Fox, also known as Ouroboros in Valorant, and I'm very excited for the tournament.
Begins.
He landed on top of the thing. My name is Miles Morgan. My in-game name is Tracker, and we're here to win. Here comes the party.
No. Oh my God.
Last player standing.
Watch this.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my God.
Game over.
Hey guys, I'm Mason Gadea, aka Mass, and they call me the Sphinx because I can solve any riddle.
One. This kid isn't.
My name is Pearson, my in-game name is Indigo, and we're here to show off. Welcome to my world.
My name is Nathan Grasty, aka Grassy, and we're gonna win this Valorant season.
Hi.
One enemy
shot. He's going for the spike. And a quad. He gets the collat. And I think they realize they can't. Somebody gets somebody, bro.
We're JT Williams. We're here to win.
Yeah. Not like that. That was good.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Happy to see a couple of smiling faces and a lot of having fun, but now we're into the game where the fun's getting a little bit more serious. We got JT Williams versus Ardry Kell, and as you can see, Ardry Kell is already up 1-0 here. It seems like we're having a couple of gun battles going on as well. Captain Ahsoka, I assume that you are still here. You're thrown right into the mix of things. You got a 4v3 situation going on as it looks to be a
down
hit.
mid.
Yeah, it definitely does. And right now, you know, there's a lot being hit, as a matter of fact. I mean, they tried to go mid and then tried to make it back in towards B. But at the same time, it was an anti-eco round because, unfortunately, you know, that JT Williams video was just so good. It was so long. We actually missed the first round. But you know what? I think it was worth it because that JT Williams video, I mean, they were cooking. I got to be honest. I need to know who the video editor of that video was because they need to do my next demo reel. Like, I'm going to keep it $150. I need some of those laser lightning eyes in my next demo reel. So again, JT Williams, hit me up after this. You know, we need to have a conversation.
I'm not sure you have as much charisma as the young men that were on that video, though.
Facts.
It's gonna be tough to follow, man. We do have a 2-0, of course, starting off here, as we have some machine gun action, as we would expect, but actually not finding very much at all, perhaps deterring the hit from B a little bit as they cross over through mid. Actually not really being caught so much, but we have the defenders staying still on their positions, two of them still. We're gonna take that A side as we have the entry in through trees a little bit. We might be finding some contact in just 1 second. Yeah, in fact, there you have it. No kills as of, or no, one kill actually. Ray's already gone down, and one theory grabs another before, okay, it's just a bit of a killing spree actually on the side of JT Williams. 4 left over to get their first round on the board.
Well, and then there you go. But that's to be expected. You know, that's the rifle round. They went down in the first round. Second round was like somewhat of like anti-eco coming from the side of Ardry Kell. And then round 3, of course, is going to be the bonus round where JT Williams can buy up. You know, this is the script. This is Valorant. You know, we all know how it goes. But now this is what a lot of, you know, analysis casters, Valorant community members call the real round. This is going to be the first rifle round. Look at what we got. We got Vandals and Phantoms all around. So this is where we're going to see, you know, the true start of this matchup.
Yeah, that's you know, we always see some surprises in the first 3 rounds, but to even everything out or get as close to it, I suppose, depending on how many deaths there were in the previous round. That's the real action. We do have a slow forward push into A. Some definitely sights onto mid, however, could be actually be making a bit of a rotation. One theory tried to be almost a one-man stand in that last round, is unable to do so. I might once again be the first to find some contact here, as it does look like that Sky is just waiting to throw down the dog, see what the situation is like. They are going to full send it in, and it looks like it is going to be the one theory going down pretty much instantly, and unfortunately that leaves Ardry Kell with 3 and 2 on the board. And JT Williams is looking to even up the score lickety-split as they do get the spike planted.
Yep, that they do. And you know what? Again, this was just a fantastic push just coming from the side of JT Williams. As you can see, Yushi will be the last player that remains on the side of Ardry Kell, the lone defender here, the Sova, but it looks like they're going to go for the save. But again, JT Williams just bringing that aggression, bringing that util dump, and which is why I always say that KO is just necessary, is one of the most meta characters here on Ascent, just because again their entry is just so good. Not just, you know, for the flashes, I mean everybody likes the flashes, but honestly I think their flash grenades aren't the best. It's the null command, it's that KO dagger that just helps so much when it comes to the entryway onto A. And JT Williams, you know, they executed it perfectly, especially when they pair it with a Sky. You know, most of the time that meta composition is going to be a Sova, which I love Sova, big fan of the Sova Odin combo here on Ascent, but KO and Sky on the entry was a great pick for JT Williams, considering they started on the offense first.
Right, exactly. Struggling on the offense. And still, of course, having some good characters for the defense as well. When we get to that swap, things have evened up, so we're definitely going to be getting there. In an uneven situation, Yushi able to save their gun from the last round, which is something, but of course, many of their teammates end up having to buy, kind of an odd one to judge. Spectre's there. They are looking again to be hitting that A site. It's been going well for them so far. May have a little more presence from Audrey Kell there now that's been a bit of a vulnerable spot. Once again, entering in. The Jet dashes forward, covered by the smokes, and is trying to get some kills here with the help of the teammates. Things do seem to be going once again well enough. Audrey Kell, 4 left alive on the board. And that is going to be a 4v3 as the plant does come through. Yushi with the Phantom trying to get something done here. They were the last with alive last time. Let's see if they can make some movement in this round. Finds Grassy, but is taken down by Tracker. The trades are coming through. Only 1 left for Audrey Kell. Do have that Raze looking to enter on in, waiting for them to poke their heads forward. They will be looking the right direction. It's 2v1, and it is going to be won by the 2. Mass, last man standing, will win this one for JT Williams.
Yeah, and that was a textbook double swing. I mean, you're looking at the Jet right there, and they were low in health, so you have them entry first, pretty much as the bait, and then you have Mass coming through with full health, ready to spray it down, get the head click, and get the win. Again, that's textbook right there. That is a textbook double swing Valorant play that, again, you're going to pick that up in any ranked game. So, again, well executed, well done. You can't beat the classic bait and switch, and now it will be JT Williams with the 1 round lead as we get ready to head into round number 6. But look at the ult economy right now, all in the favor of Audrey Kell. They have 3 ultimates at the ready.
Yeah, they actually have a lot to work with, but we have a change of tempo a little bit from JT Williams. Going to be entering through mid for the most part. Dragon's got the knives out and is just waiting for the signal, I would suppose. I mean, we do have someone waiting for them to actually stick their head out. There it is, Anime. That's how you say that. Anime takes the kill. That's another one as well before finally going down. And the mid entry is having a little bit of trouble. They got JT Williams with 3 still on the board, kind of stuck in mid as well. They can choose to go over to B. That's where the Killjoy utility is. A might actually be the safer spot if you can go ahead and just get on over there. And that's actually exactly what they're doing again through tree. There's no one on site to defend. The Sova's hurrying on over with the Killjoy right behind them. But they are going to be a bit late. The plant is going to happen. Post-plant can get set up at least a little bit. They do get tagged by the bolts, so that's some good news here for Audrey Kell. Want to even things up once again. The 2v2, they do have the high grounds, but Mass actually finds the kill, leaving 1, just the Sova. They got the Astral Wall having come down, complicating things a little bit, as the spike has been planted, counting down, I believe, as well. And so Sova's just kind of going to wait this through. Yushi is going to try and poke out from the Astral Wall, but it's trying to give as much time as possible. And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to find very much. I mean, the timer was up against him after all, so that's a very difficult situation to be in. The Astral Wall just kind of made sure that was cut and dry.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, this is why the pick rate for Astra has been going up here on Ascent, because of plays like this. Again, the buff to Astra, so necessary, so awesome, and you'll love to see it. Again, being able to really just dissect any type of site in the post-plant Astra, just phenomenal. And you know what? We didn't even bring into the discussion of the gravity wells. The gravity wells from Astra, also really good. So again, it's nice to see that, you know, with the recent, not so recent changes, that, you know, it kind of challenges the meta of Omen being the primary smokes here on Ascent, as now we are getting round number 7 underway.
You can do the math, and you got to remember that it's the round after the math. I have difficulty with that, honestly. I'm glad you're here to keep me in check. Yeah, round number 7, JT Williams in the lead. Not dominantly so, which again, Audrey Kell do have quite a few ults on their side. I mean, Omen obviously can help out if necessary, if you need to transport over, maybe a bit of misdirect as well. And then, I mean, Arena can often be that one-man team. One woman, I guess, for Reyna. And then the Raze, rather. I mean, obviously, just a lot of kills that could be coming through with some of their ults, but having not done so quite yet, we do again have that mid push, like last round, but far more successful, not kind of stuck around that gate, around that arch. And we have a maybe tussle happening very soon. Anime actually is just waiting in a pretty prime position. Unfortunately, can't get the first pick, and now it's going to be chased down with all the members being able to spill Thor's forth out, or Boros. It's going to be hard to say very quickly. Actually getting 2K right there, and entering into A site now from that defender side. Does seem like it's going to be a successful hit for JT Williams, furthering their lead because it's a 5v2 situation, even with a couple of ults on the side of RJ Kell. I don't know if there's really a lot to do. Not unless JT Williams just stack up, and then the Rays, you know, ult could do the whole thing. That'd be nice.
Yeah, right now though, look at illness there with the judge. I love the judge so much. Like, I haven't even really noticed a judge nerf because it's still just such a great econ vibe. But with that being said, I mean, it doesn't matter what weapon you have at this moment. You got Indigo watching there in heaven, able to get that one elimination, and now that will be the final elimination, giving a flawless victory to JT Williams. And they are just on an absolute tear. They are literally just taking control of these sites, utilizing their util perfectly. And I gotta say, the entry once again phenomenal, because you have the KO in the sky, throwing out the util, of course, throwing out the dog, null command, throwing out flashes, and then Jet just swoops right on in with all the smokes and all the cover that they need in order to put themselves onto site, and then they find the early picks. So again, it is just flawless execution on the A side, and they're gonna really have to start stacking up there, because once again, it looks like JT Williams are gonna push for A.
Yeah, all stacked up. Might even go ahead and blitz through it a little bit. They've been really good about mixing up their strategies, you know? Like, I've actually got to applaud them. It seems to be a bit different every single time, a different site, or a different way to enter through. So the backbone of the agents they've selected. They do have that KJ ult thrown down from the attacking side, so it's going to push away all the defenders onto the back of the site if they can fit a little bit like they have. And actually, despite that ult trying to clear out the site, it looks like JT Williams having a bit of difficulty actually getting on top of it. Anime taking down 2, a third for Ardrey Kell, leaves it a 5v2 situation, and they just have increased their ultimates as well. Now they have their own KJ ultimate too. So they have a lot of toys to work with. JT Williams, probably their biggest sudden defeat yet, I would feel like, even though they got in 2 rounds on the board. The last few have been a little bit dicey for them, but now they are looking to be in prime position to get a third for them. JT Williams has managed to find 1, and that's fine, but it's still 4v2, and you know, time is starting to tick down. 36 seconds is a lot to work with, but what do they have really to try and scout out a little bit? The sky, do they have any utility left over? I think just gonna go blitzer, right? Mass checking mid, making sure the transition isn't happening right before them, I suppose, but it could always be happening in the defender side. And the Omen ults, that's right, coming in, checking around for that B, and there will be no easy plants for this round.
Cover going out.
Yeah, no, again, they're not going to try and give away any spike money. And honestly, that's like the best you can wish for. Some spike money, maybe a couple exit frags. But look, I think they're going to go for the save as well. But at the same time, JT Williams, they're not hurting in the purse. You know, they have some credits left over. So again, the save might not have even been necessary. But how about an exit frag on the way out from Mass, as Grassy also will be eliminated. But they were literally one shot. So again, fantastic round coming from Ardrey Kell as they managed to take a round back. And not only that, but the ult economy, my goodness, 4 at the ready for Ardrey Kell.
Yeah, you know, I would say if this was a different situation, if they weren't already so ult heavy anyway, I mean, was that Omen ult really necessary? Could they have figured that out without that ult? But it doesn't really matter. I mean, it feels like with 4 still on the board and so much to play around with there too, defensively and offensively, duels and teamwork, I mean, it's very promising, but we know that ults aren't everything in the game of Valorant. Still got the strategies, which again, JT Williams been really good about mixing things up. They've gone mid, they've gone A, a little less on B, I suppose, deterred perhaps by the Odin, but they have even now gone into a bit more of a slower play, kind of making maybe some noise over onto the B side, but actually going all the way back the attacker side to make that movement over into A. That is where all the killjoy utility is, so gotta be wary of that.
Honestly, this somewhat feels more like an ego challenge than anything, because they came here last time, A main archway, KJ utility and all, and they ended up taking the L last round. So they're gonna try again, the same exact play, the same exact entry, looking to succeed. Again, this feels like an ego challenge, but so far it happens to be working. The Nebula, the Astra, apologies, the Astra orbs are on point. You can see now that the nanosword do go out from the KJ, and from up on high, Anime manages to find an elimination on Ouroboros.
Yeah, of the grenades, they took down the turret of the opposing KJ is all that did, but they are able to get
enemy
position
remaining.
to actually maybe still have a
player
chance.
standing.
Indigo taking away that chance, but now it's a 1v1. Indigo got 4K right there, actually to suddenly turn everything around. Now it's down to the 2 KJs who have been kind of fighting with these villains in the first place. Now have to fight around the spike. It goes well for, I'm guessing, Terminal as they take down Mass, and Adrikel will get a 4th on the board. No sweeps here, not yet anyway, as a back and forth continues.
Yeah, that felt like an oof moment, I'll be honest. And you know, Mass has been cooking all day. They're currently still at the top of the leaderboard for JT Williams, but they just missed their shot on that one. And not only that, but they also let the, the nanoswarms go to waste. When in doubt, pop them off. But at the same time, JT Williams still holding on to that 1-round lead. But if they give up another, the economy might be looking so great for them. Again, you're looking at the side of Adrikel, and they were barely able to flow by here. It looks like they're hurting in the purse a little bit. But with that being said, we are now getting round number 10 underway as JT Williams this time look as though they are going to try mid instead of going right through the archway.
They have tried this a couple times before. A little more successful times. They were kind of allowed through the archway, basically. Now, you must be hesitant. Got to be worried. I think the play is at least known now for Adrikel, who might also have kind of figured out a way to take care of that mid situation a little bit better than the last time we saw it when they were kind of divided, and then the Reyna went down in a 1v4 basically, and it just wasn't pretty from there. And it is slow goings. Once again, Adrikel still with 3 ults on the board, including KJ, should they want to go ahead and just buy a lot of time, especially if JT Williams take any more. But we finally have that movement in. Tracker leading the charge. Tip of the spear is going to open up B-side a little bit. Anime waiting and trying to isolate some of these duels. Unfortunately, so many of JT Williams is spilling forth that wasn't really possible. And now Adrikel coming in for a retake in a 3v5.
Spike
A couple of
planted.
ultimates. Do you actually use them in this particular situation? Maybe now, as Terminal grabs 1. They could try and do something. I mean, again, the raise, maybe a stack up here for that ultimate of theirs. I mean, yet to find it. Shock Dart coming in, unfortunately. Ray's not doing anything. Neither will Terminal as the KJ. And now it is just Yushi. I believe Sova is only left. Are they actually going to try and make it work? They're trying to make it work, but they're kind of being chased down. So there goes Yushi, and JT Williams will stop this momentum for a little while.
Yep, that they will. But, I mean, so far the momentum from JT Williams is yet to be halted. I mean, granted, they did give up 4 rounds over to Adrikel, or rather Adrikel took 4 rounds from JT Williams. But at the same time, we have yet to see them get forced into an eco round. Other than, the first, round 3, the bonus round. Since then, anyway. So, again, they haven't been hurting an economy. They've been able to full buy nearly every single time. And if you really want to do damage to JT Williams, you got to do it in the economy. And that just hasn't been done yet. Is now round number 11 is underway. And once again, we're seeing Adrikel reach to the bottom of the bargain bin.
Yeah, magic can still happen with it. Let's see. I should be aware now, absolutely aware that it's going to be an A hit. Do we have KJ ult to try and push them away? No, indeed. I mean, they've contaminated the site by now anyway. And that plant will be coming through. A trade here to start things off. So 1 goes down for each team. We got the setup here, the plants. Now, can the retake actually come through with, as you said, the bargain bin weapons? KJ ult used. And that's going to complicate things a little bit for JT Williams. How far can they actually be pushed back? They move back in the line, I guess? Yeah, so far back, actually. They do find a corner to be able to get back onto it, but now the Nano Grenade comes down as well, and that's going to be actually kind of weird. JT Williams, when they got onto the site, weren't able to actually stick it as every one of them goes down. The fuse will come through, and Adrikel finally making use of that KJ ult pretty well. Okay, yeah, the defuse did come through, and they are going to keep it within 1 round.
That
Last
is
round
a huge
in the half.
thrifty round again, and again, those are like some of my favorite rounds. Like again, you have the ace, which is great, You know, that's probably my favorite. And then you have the thrifties. The thrifties are so insane to me because you're making so much happen with so little. And not only that, but it wasn't even like a close thrifty round. You know, they still had 3 players standing by the end of it. So they were literally clicking heads. And again, all you need is that one elimination. And then all of a sudden, you got a rifle in hand. You're able to pick it up from the opponent
Right here.
just eliminate it. So again, it's like a snowball effect. You get one elimination, you get another, and then all of a sudden, your team has free vandals.
Yeah, and it's actually looking quite good for them on the economy if they can, of course, win this one as well. Momentum might truly well be in their favor as they also would tie it up. Of course, JT Williams looking to stop that. Have a couple of ults actually for both teams. In fact, I do have to maybe point out that the Rays illness, I believe, not having used their ults. One of those situations where I'm double checking that they didn't use it and then I missed it and they got another ults because it's been in their pocket for quite some time because they were finding quite that beautiful moment to use it, but then starting to feel like, you know, even trading out or making space with it still would have been useful.
You are divided.
I think it hung up on that. So we have the Cosmic Divide come down, the entry onto B with quite a few of the ults actually coming through. Anime able to stop Indigo in their tracks. Still on the backside, going to Boathouse, maybe trying to extend the time a little bit, or at least trade out. Unfortunately, can't do anything more. The rest of their teammates are rushing over, but not able to actually help out. And now we have to plant through. In a 4v3 situation, JT Williams definitely hoping to get that 7th on the board. Gonna scout out Mass, and actually Audrey Kell take the fight to them. She does win. Now, yes, we got it. We got the ult from Illness, which does not find the kill, but again, making space, making them worry about all that stuff can really help out. They find one, Ouroboros, who's on a tear with 3K, and now let's see if Illness can go ahead and take down a 1v2 with Boathouse. They gotta look every which way. They're panning around their mouths as fast as possible, but it is not going to be enough, as JT Williams does make a bit of a scrap fest, scrappy fight right there, and in their favor. And now we do have that side swap, 7-5 in JT Williams' favor.
Yeah, not only that, but that was also just a fantastic first half. I mean, when it comes to Ascent, like, there's a reason that me and many others in the community, we refer to it as like the 50-50 map, the neutral map, because it's like where you get some of the most even matchups. And again, I don't really feel like there's an advantage to either side of the spike. We always talk about spike advantage, the win percentages. Is it offensive sided? Is it defensive sided? Yada, 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 yada. To me, Ascent is one of those 50-50 neutral maps, more or less. And with that being said, you know, going into the half at a 7-5 split, not bad at all. Ascent, honestly, has been the map where I've seen the most 6-6 splits dead even. So the fact that we're seeing a good start with a 2-round lead, 7-5 in the favor of JT Williams, that's not a bad start. Although, with that being said, I will say that their composition was more in line to the offensive side of the spike. Now we have to see how well they can execute on defense.
That's a very good point. Things could get very different very fast. I'm hoping not. I'm liking this tightrope that the teams are walking here, but now it's time to get used to a new tempo as you swap sides. We get to see how Audrey Kell approaches the attack. And JT Williams really got to applaud the amount of times they mixed things up. Even when something was working continuously, like their A side hits, they actually still changed over to mid just to make sure that it wasn't going to be telegraphed too much. And that did work ultimately in their favor as they lead by 2. It's Audrey Kell trying to get a little bit of feel across the map, finally deciding to go through 3 onto that A side, tippity-hoppity right on through. Illness leading, not quite able to see him up in heaven, but there is an Astra who checks, takes a couple of shots, and then waits for the rest of the team, which is definitely the smart way to go. Now Grassy coming in here as well. We got the trades finally happening. Spike has been planted, so the timer is a-ticking. And we got JT Williams down to 3. Ditto on Audrey Kell as the gun battles continue.
One enemy
coming
remaining.
in from that tree side. It's really not a lot of effect here as Illness will get the last kill on Indigo. And we have Audrey Kell with that first point of this half, making it 6-7. You know what typically happens in Valorant? We typically get the second one as well after the pistol, so we could have a totally even score here.
Yep, that we could. And I don't know about you, Zombie, but I'm getting a little deja vu because I recall in the first half, Audrey Kell also won the pistol round and then inevitably won the second as well. But we've already seen one thrifty round, and you know, this isn't the most concrete buy of all time. I mean, Spectres and full shields, one Sheriff on the board, definitely an advantage. But, I mean, we've already seen Audrey Kell do a lot more with a lot less. So who knows? JT Williams could pull out a thrifty as now we get round 14 underway.
He's talking about the guns and whatnot. I just realized we didn't actually have an op in mid at any point, but that seems so typical to the map. But not so far, and maybe we won't actually see it at all in this series. Not quite there yet on this particular half to have the money. And we have some slow approach. Now going to punch it over into B. JT Williams actually were going on a bit of a killing spree, or an attempted one. Now we're going to meet up together, get that sandwich. In fact, it could actually get really ugly really fast or be totally fine. Illness kills Ouroboros, gets the shot there. We got someone tucked in here in the corner. Trade out as well. JT Williams down to 2 now. Ardrikel still on 3. I actually thought that was going to be a pincer. I thought that was going to be a bloodbath in Ardrikel's favor. Not exact, or sorry, JT Williams' favor, sorry. But it kind of was a bit of a wash. Ardrikel still with more members on the board, but that Ray's very, very injured. And we got this rotate over onto A, which is slowing things down for JT Williams on the defense. They got to go actually try and get some retake positions and see if they can stop this plant from actually being effective.
You know what? Not a bad strat coming from JT Williams either. Is now you can see they're going for the flank onto A. Here comes the swing, and even with the Spectre in hand, it wasn't enough to get the one over on Yushi. But regardless, not a bad round considering, you know, JT Williams only had classics in hands. Is now we get a full replication, nearly, of what we saw there in the first half, which is a pistol round and the follow-up round taken by Ardrikel. But now here we go. Let's see if history will fully repeat itself. As now we head into the buy round coming from JT Williams, and of course they do have the advantage with the rifles in hand, but I will say I'm seeing a lot more full shields on the side of Ardrikel. So again, this one could go either way, but I'm still getting that deja vu, zombie.
Yeah, we're gonna see if it's gonna actually be true deja vu. The exact same thing happening over and over again. JT Williams, you know, trying to go for that like offensive approach with their limited guns. I really thought there was a lot of promise there. Kind of got my sides confused for a second, but the fact that Ardrikel actually almost just like stopped it before it really begun, and then obviously got the win, good on them. And now JT Williams, I'm gonna finally get a point for this half on the defensive side. Ardrikel deciding that A is not going to be the way. We do have some mid presence. Illness trying to open things up a little bit. Very careful. They got 2 to compete with potentially. A little crossfire set up here from JT Williams. Illness is going to get caught up by Indigo. I mean, either way, again, that crossfire was pretty darn well set up. So unfortunately, Illness's movement not finding really any success, because even as far as scouting, I would say that was a little too far advanced from their team to really be all that helpful. And without any trades, you know, the Indigo and the Jets is actually quite well set up. Maybe the A site's 30 seconds left. Weaker with at least 2 over on the left, and KJ was there as well, and that actually does seem to be the case. JT Williams now being forced to go for the retake, although Ouroboros really trying to stay on the site as long as possible, is at least able to break out way down to the Sophie Dart. Now we got Hell being taken care of as well. JT Williams will indeed get their first point of this half. We have 8-7 now, which, you know, deja vu.
Yeah, once again, history does repeat itself. And you know what? I really hope that Ouroboros is a Resident Evil fan, because if not, I'm just going to be disappointed. I mean, that again, that is a not clear cut, but I mean, Ouroboros again is, you know, the main strain of the progenitor virus in Resident Evil 5. Again, I'm going to let that go. But again, I love a good reference when it comes to player names. So indeed, if that's what it is, then, you know, me and Ouroboros can be friends. But with that being said, getting ready now to head into round 16. JT Williams again able to take a 1-round lead, and Ardrikel now with their full buy. So once again, in the second half, this is the start of true Valorant. This is the rifle round.
I just watched episode 1 of Lotus Season 2, Ouroboros is the name there. So it's possible. We do have the gunfights occurring. It's actually much faster at the start here for Ardrikel, who are taking some slower approaches, kind of moving around the map a little bit more, decide to full send it onto the A side successfully get on top of it. Now we got 3 left for JT Williams versus the full stack 5 for Ardrikel as they try and get in for a retake. Rather an effective bird right there, and super great starts. Possibly trying to comms here, a little bit of a strategy as they do have to worry about the spike ticking on down. Being denied entry at least there from Heaven, might have a little bit more success. Tracker trying to get that ultimate kill on the no-brainer right there. You know, if they always put their head right in that spot. Not able to find that, but still finding others. Get Illness down, making it 2v4, but at the end of the day, it does seem like it's a little bit too much, especially with the spike so close to detonating. Everyone is going to skedaddle. We got 4 on the side of Ardry Kell keeping their guns, and 2 for JT Williams.
Yep, and there you have it. Once again, we are tied neck and neck at 8 rounds apiece. But honestly, that was a big win for Ardry Kell. Again, you don't want to try and fall into somewhat of an eco deficit like they did in the first half. Again, you know, Ardry Kell was always trying to play a little bit of keep up when it comes with economy. Meanwhile, JT Williams, for the first time in what feels like a while, kind of find themselves on the back foot in the money. I mean, right now, if they lose this one here, then they are going to be forced into an eco round, which will give Ardry Kell not just a lead, but nearly a guaranteed 2-round lead. So let's see how they execute here in round number 17.
Tracker taking an offensive position, doesn't find the pick that they were hoping for, but does live to tell the tale. And it looks like that will be enough of a deterrent, actually, as JT Williams also losing Grassy there as they try and rotate over. The A site had already actually had the spike on it. Illness is carrying it forward. Now the rest of the team is just coming on as well. Indigo on Heaven, able to find one, but injured. Might want to wait for the rest of the team as well. And Illness actually did not plant that spike, which taken away for the second win condition, but it looks like it's not going to be all that much of a problem. We got 4 on the board for Ardry Kell, a couple of ults for them as well, and JT Williams is once again down to 2. Familiar feeling here. This time, they have a little bit more time to actually try and get a pick and then open up like a 2v3 situation, which I think is possible, but it is that time that is a factor. Can they get that? Can they actually make a move onto site, or is it once again time to save some guns?
No, I think it's time to save. I mean, I'm not sure if JT Williams is aware of the ult economy, but when you have the Arctis Fury at the ready, the defuse isn't happening. So right now, I think they're just looking for exit frags, and they managed to get one. But once again, Yushi, the last player, well, not the last player standing, but the one to clean up and get the final eliminations. It just seems to be always Yushi to get that final elim in the right place, always at the right time. And now, Ardry Kell have turned the tables on JT Williams, as not only did they take the lead back, but they have forced JT Williams into an eco round.
Yeah, exactly. Not looking so great for their chances here in this round. I'm with you. I think Ardry Kell is going to take a 10-8 lead, showing a little bit more strength on the attack to actually get them the lead in those points. Maybe they can finish off with a full 13. We will see. JT Williams, they did just pop those knives. They have some faith here. And they were able to put down some KJ utility as we have the bounty bounce on to sites. Roadhouse does have a player there. No one's going to take them out. It's going to try anyway, but unsuccessful. The pistol helping out Mass greatly, I guess, as things at a little bit of a shorter distance. And they're just slaughtering out there. And Boathouse finally taken down by Anime. They are able to do quite a bit for their team, making things look possible here for JT Williams. 4 on the board for them, 3 on the side of Ardry Kell, but also 3 ults on the side of Ardry Kell, including that Sova ult. And that is the thing you were talking about there. Unless they can take out the Sova, that's going to be problematic for actually diffusing the spike. And they have yet to take out Yushi. Still alive. He took down 1 more, make that 2 more of JT Williams. And a 1v2 situation where Grassy is down to 8 health with a Sheriff. And Yushi will get that 3K, and that will in fact be the 10-8 score for Ardry Kell.
What do you say,
as
bro?
we
Ready
somewhat predicted, I don't want to say that we completely predicted, but at the same time, I don't think that story was too hard to read in the first place. I mean, that definitely seemed the way it was headed, at least, you know, in those last 2 rounds. But with that being said, once again, we're going to get another rifle round, and look at this. I think you mentioned it earlier. And here it comes. Tracker now is breaking out the op on the Jet. Now, that is going to be dangerous. An op in the hands of a Jet is, again, just one of the best combinations in the game.
Yeah, in a sense, is super well known for it. There's the first victim. Yushi making the mistake of just checking for a hot second in mid. Perhaps reminded, yeah, operator's worth worrying about, but not going to find any more success, at least mid, with that operator, as the rest of Ardry Kell are looking to try and enter onto B, or an A rather. So far, little stalled out. Further scouting just to make sure they're not going for that rotates. Gotta applaud JT Williams' patience here, not going to try and over-rotate the other members.
You should
actually
run.
still sticking to their sights. A little bit of a lurk here from their Astra. Attacker Killjoy actually putting down the ults is a bit of a fake. Gonna push everyone back into the site of A. Hopefully it's the ideal, or fake into a fake. Or Bros, so I was pointing out, was actually kind of lurking for that potential either transition or the runaround game that I suppose Audrico was trying to play. They do finally get taken down, but good lord, they definitely did their job, and now it's only Terminal who has to get the spike up against 4 members of JT Williams.
Only one player remains, and then there were none. JT Williams, you know, I would hate to call it a must-win round, but I'm going to go ahead and call it a must-win round, because at that point, if you don't win that, then you're all but forced into another eco, and then you end up on match point, and then all of a sudden you lose on Ascent. So yes, the fact that they managed to come through on that round and save their economy, it, to me, was absolutely pivotal, because now you're starting to strike back, and then you pretty much deny what it should have could have been at least a match point in the favor of Audrico. So again, great stand there, and also Tracker on the op. My goodness, let's see it happen again as we go into round 20.
Yeah, I mean, they got the opening pick, and that was nice, but
on a jiggle
Astra,
peek at that.
True. That was, I mean, definitely big applause for that, and also
I can't do
now,
that.
obviously. With the operator in hand, you got to be so scared of every single corner that you look through, right? Like, mid's obviously like the biggest point, but even then, we just saw them take down one for Audrico. But Ouroboros, I believe, is who actually ended up getting so many kills in mid. Really great game sense right there. We do have the entry onto a site. Illness leading the charge, getting the first kill onto Mass. JC Williams, I mean, they got a couple of ults on their side. They're going to be retaking here and down a man as well. They know where the team is. It's just a matter of actually getting on the site and taking them out. That operator going to have a little bit more trouble as things get a little bit close quarters as well. I'm kind of scared. They're all stacked up in that one place. Going to try and come through. Illness just waiting for the heads to appear, but unfortunately is taken down immediately. Not very effective up there on his pillars, and Tracker just runs on forward. It's the kill actually taking a different gun, which I think is a really good move. And now it is a 2v3 Audrico. Now in a little bit of trouble. The Sova ult will come through, but Tracker is just out for blood right now, going into the Sova ult to try and stop it, but now things get so awkward. Oh, Yushi gets everything. Dies to the spike, of course, but able to get the Sova ult to try and delay the defuse onto the actual 1v2 success for them, I suppose. I mean, I guess one person kind of helped by just running into their ult, and that's always nice, but still, nicely played there. Audrico 11-9 now.
I'm telling you, I've said it even before. Yushi is pretty much the cleanup killer for Audrico. Anything that's just left unfinished, Yushi is the closer. They're the finisher. They managed to get the final eliminations almost any time that Audrico really needs it. So it is a clutch factor for sure, but Yushi is doing that every round, not just on clutch rounds, not just in clutch situations, literally just doing Yushi things all the time.
That was so entertaining and how that went down, you know. I don't know if we had to have the Jet be so aggressive, it couldn't quite hear the spike, but yeah, that might have actually turned around on them, because not only did not find the Sova right, but then I think that made their teammate kind of misjudge how the duel was going to be upcoming, you know, so that it just turned a little awkward. Audrico now looking to perhaps be on match point if they can actually win this one. Only a third last situation for them.
Spike
Very quickly
down
into
B.
1v4, so they're not going to be able to get onto that match point. JT Williams with a very clean 10th point for them.
Well, there you have it. This has just been a real tug of war here. I mean, a back and forth, non-stop. And I got to tell you, Audrico still looking really, really strong here, although I think they may have been forced into somewhat of an eco, maybe an anti-eco, a broken buy. Yeah, their economy not looking good, as they're going to have to once again reach to the bottom of the bargain bin to try and make something out of nothing. But we have seen a similar buy work out in the favor of Audrico, and they pulled a huge clutch, but now it's going to be a little bit more difficult, as they're going to have to do the same thing, except this time they're on the offensive side of the spike.
I think we're good. I see a little bit of disconnect and whatnot, but fortunately not while gunfights were happening, and I think all the players are still in. But yeah, things are getting you know, very stressful, so the last thing you want to be doing is looking down at that chat, making sure everyone's here. So things are calmed down into this rounds, and You look like maybe mid could be a hit. KJ utility just contaminating A so much. The tree especially, which I think this has been a common entry point. Might once again be the entry point. Anime trying to make some noise over on a B, find a pick perhaps, but unsuccessful in that. At least able to leave and perhaps rejoin their group. It does look to be the case. Mass push away by a paranoia right there, but again, living. So still 5 on the board for both teams, and as soon as I say it, it changes. Ouroboros with the first pick in this round. Things get heated up clearly. The site is going to be KJ utility. Not quite making any moves yet there. I think they all just got taken down. They have some trades going through. Ouroboros with the 3K looking for more, but the team take the rest. And JT Williams getting their 11th on the board, tying things up. Getting the defuse, having some ultimates, having some good guns. I mean, this is going to get really tense here in 11-11.
Oh, absolutely. But that's what I'm here for. You know, that's what we're all here for, is to see these matches go the distance. We told you coming into this that Valorant VESL has some of the best competition in high school esports. And I hate to break it to you, but this time Captain was not capping. We are bringing you the best of the best, and we are going the distance. Chances are, if we're lucky, and maybe if we've been good this year, we're going to be able to see ourselves in OT here on Ascent.
Yeah, some early Christmas presents with the entertainment factor, and of course all these teams are hoping to get some early Christmas presents, I suppose, actually winning their regionals, participating in LAN, getting that sweet, sweet cash, and of course just proving that they are one of the best high schools in the region would be pretty freaking cool. 11-11, not quite match point here, but it is so stressful thinking about how if you lose a round, then you're not exactly rich. They've been so neck and neck, right, that it might be almost impossible to win against your opponent if they take the 12th, and that's or the 11th, sorry. Well, no, 12th. That's what I meant. 12th point. But okay, all right. Let's size things up here. Everyone looking to hit B. Literally everyone. Going to try and overwhelm JT Williams on the defense. Not super successful as Indigo and Track are able to take down one apiece. However, the one theory comes in and takes down 2 in turn. Illness also finding an important pick as well. JT Williams, 3 left on the board technically, but that KO is looking a little lonely, I suppose. Themselves a 1v1. The dog comes out. There's effective. The satchel comes out though as well. Illness got Indigo. It's just, I think, funny. Not exactly their intended target, but at the end of the day, everyone does fall. JT Williams now up against Ardrikel, down a point on match point. Do they have some good guns? They do. Do they have a couple of ults? They do. Are they the most influential ults? They'll certainly be hoping so. Ouroboros on the Astra has the Astral Wall, and then Tracker can go ahead and just use some knives, which, I mean, if they can actually replicate some of their op kills as well, that would be really, really good. But it's all coming down to this. Can Ardrikel get the 13th point and win this best of 1?
Yeah, this is going to be tough, and honestly, I think this one is going to be a battle of the duelist here. You're going to have Bladestorm versus Empress, and that is going to be insane. On the other hand, that Cosmic Divide from the Astra on JT Williams could be the make or break here for JT Williams. Again, it's going to come down on how these ults are going to be executed, and again, this one is, I can't make heads or tails. This one can go either way.
Jet knives are out, lurking as well. JT Williams taking an offensive approach, which I thought was going to work out earlier in this half, and then kind of turned around before it even really begun. Indigo in this corner pocket, waiting for everyone to enter through. It's actually quite slow. I feel like we're in a horror game right now. Someone's finally going to make some moves, and indeed it is Ouroboros finding 3K. And Indigo with 1. Okay, this was not a problem whatsoever as JT Williams in a 5v1. Anime actually does pop the ult here, and I'm going to try and still make some waves, but they have no idea where anyone is.
I gotta be honest, that was like the meanest flank I think I've seen in a very, very long time. I mean, JT Williams with the game on the line, need I mind you, just went for the deepest flank and just massacred the entire team with a flawless victory. You want to talk about making it count? JT Williams literally just showed up in the very last round on what could have been the match and just completely stole it away from Ardrikel.
Yeah, we're gonna have overtime. All right, this is.
We must have been good this year.
Yeah, I guess so. And unfortunately, lone Reyna and an Empress not going to really change things for the team there. For Audrey Kell, now they are forced back onto defense. JT Williams getting a shot at attack yet again. Oh boy. I'm actually not really sure how to call this one. You know, that the flank was brilliant, by the way. I'm glad that it worked out the second time that they tried, because I was referencing the time where it didn't quite, but that was super successful. Actually get us to this overtime. Now another mid kind of look around, I suppose. Reyna's checking exactly for that. Might not be expecting Ouroboros to be so forwardly positioned, however, and that's exactly why Ouroboros did it, and in fact grabs 2 with that positioning. Finding Terminal as well, and now opening up the hit onto A a little bit. Into the glass and finding Yushi, who was not just looking in the right direction, and this is actually kind of all said and done, honestly. JT Williams getting the spike plant, having one more to take down, and that one did kind of surprise Ouroboros there, but still does get taken down. JT Williams starting the overtime in their favor.
Switching sides. Match point.
Well, here we go. Now match point in the favor of JT Williams, when only mere moments ago it was match point in the favor of Audrey Kell. Oh, how the turns have tabled. The tables have turned. And here we are. Match point again. But this is the thing about OT. Doesn't matter who goes on the match point. Doesn't matter who gets the dub. The economy, the buying power still stays the same. The alt economy still stays the same. So no matter what the circumstance in OT, you are going to get a fair fight.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's, well, really quite fun about it, actually. And now it's going to be a hit onto A. All the Killjoy utility is there. And it's been, I feel like a preference, actually, overall. And JT Williams might have read that correctly. Although we do have the KJ on the opposite side, seeing if there's an opening onto the B hit. And it is going to be at least a partial rotation. There's actually no one from JT Williams actually able to check if the rotation. Okay, no, they just checked to see if there was a bit of a rotation going in. They might have mistimed that check, though. They're going back over to the A site because Anime's been making noise alongside their Raze partner, and it's kind of just JT Williams trying to find out exactly what is going on. 47 seconds left, so plenty of time to Audrey Kell to actually make a decision. But, I mean, I think they've kind of successfully confused JT Williams to an extent, but JT Williams just making sure to have kind of a default split, at least to some degree, to try and catch where it's actually going to be a hit, and that will in fact be A, just confirmed there, and Grassy is going to be able to actually get a pick 2 with that confirmation. Mass helping out as well, and JT Williams with a 3v2 situation. The defensive side looking good enough. Perhaps Anime and Terminal turning things around, actually quick becoming a 2v1 in the side of Audrey Kell. Can they once again tie up the score here? Terminal gets the plant. Indigo's going to try and take down a 1v2. Finds the one. Isolated. Now a 1v1. Can they actually do it? They know, of course, Killjoy is back there. All right, they're going to be looking the right way. They're super injured at this point. And now, of course, Killjoy can go ahead and play around the spike. A little bit of tag going on here. Not exactly super fun. Indigo with the flash trying to help things out, but still gets spotted down to 4 health and not going to be able to do it. Terminal just playing ring around the rosy, able to find the shots and actually getting to another overtime.
Yep, here we go. And you know what? This is what I love about competitive Valorant. You know why? Because unlike ranked Valorant, you're not gonna succeed on a draw. There's no draw. We gotta have a winner, and we gotta have, unfortunately, a loser. There's no voting for the draw. We're gonna keep going. Eventually, we're gonna reach a conclusion to this matchup. And now, once again, we are going into round 27. This is what we have come to see. This is what we're here for. And right now, my goodness, it has been quite the show. But once again, JT Williams get to take a turn on the attack.
This has been super entertaining. To be honest, I'm kind of used to a lot of the starts of these tournaments being, well, you know, a top seed versus low seed, and kind of expected happens despite a couple of bumps or promises, some hope shown. But this is just absolutely neck and neck. I would not at all be surprised if we get another overtime beyond this. Just some classic tack shooter situations, you know, 6 overtime, no problem. Finally, some action in favor of J2 Williams as they're able to take down 2 for just 1 of their own. A bit of mid presence here from Indigo, trying to get a good angle as the rest of their team goes over into a more B main situation. Looks like they'll catch up with them eventually. Yeah, and they, I mean, kind of revealed the intent, I believe, as well. Although Audrey Kell, KJ, still staying over on their side. We'll need to rotate over to help out. The 3v4 situation. Audrey Kell's going to need all of the men that they can actually get here. Anime and Boathouse is going to be able to take the one. It's a little bit awkward. They heal up. So overrun by JT Williams. And they will get the first point in this overtime.
Switching sides.
Once again, the tug of war continues. And once again, we see a match point in the favor of JT Williams. And again, it's so interesting because I had even mentioned this earlier that, you know, a sit is somewhat of the 50-50 map. You know, it often ends up like this. You get a 6-6 split, even though we didn't at the half. But we still got a 7-5, which is the next best thing to a 6-6. Regardless, it is so even every single time, and we end up here in these OTs, and it comes down to really who is going to land their head clicks. It comes down to the gun skill. It comes down to the gun game. Who's going to be quick on the draw? Who is going to go numb on the thumbs, and who's going to go sick on the sticks? That is what I love the most about Ascent. And here we are now going into round 28. Audrey Kell on the attack.
I feel like if they were stressed coming into the first overtime, it's probably just almost leading into exhaustion as the adrenaline has been pumping pretty much this entire game. And it has been so close. At most, I believe, a 3-round difference, if that. It might have only been 2. So exhaustion might be a factor, even though it's only a best of 1. And I guess thank goodness that it is. Imagine playing potentially 2 more maps in this high adrenaline state could get anyone pretty freaking tired. A little bit of shots going over here and there, trying to find an early pick, but no one's super successful. Just Audrey Kell taking some damage on the raise. But overall, not quite deciding where they want to go. No, they definitely have at this point. They're going to be entering onto B. Courtyard a little bit here. Hippity hoppity illness still leading the charge despite being injured, and will actually get that space found on B site. Indigo not able to make any type of stand there. So the rest of this will come down to a retake from JT Williams, remaining 3 players against all 5 of Audrey Kell. Well, being able to play around that spike time. He's a little bit of a heal. It's going to make all of JT Williams healthy, but it's not looking good for them actually taking this map 1. I think they're looking at another overtime.
Oh, 100%. And we're gonna keep doing this until somebody just manages to have a good defensive round, because so far here in the post plant, or at least in the OT, it has been all attacker sided. It has been the attacking teams that are coming away with the dub. As you know, Tracker does manage to find 1, but they can't find 2. And now it's gonna be a 4v2. Time still ticking away against JT Williams.
One enemy remaining.
Grasty is able to take down 1, but even without it only being down to the sky here, I think the spike was very close to dead. Yeah, there was actually, even if they had won those duels, I don't think there was enough time to get the defuse. So we're going to go into yet another overtime. I mean, I'm all for it. I actually love when it gets crazy like this. Not only does it show that teams are super balanced, they're super even, right? But then I do love the idea that you just get this high octane action of having the full gun buys, you know? That really makes things a lot about strategy, as you were saying, of course, the head clicking, and when we're talking about, I guess, the top 0.0001% of pros in Valorant, but these guys are actually so freaking talented. So it can come down to the headshots, but also seeing how they're going to try and eventually out-strategize this attacker-sided situation they have going on that you pointed out. I mean, someone's going to eventually do it, but it hasn't happened yet.
You know what I want to hear right now, which would, I think, it's not going to happen, but it would be really great to me, is we just get to the point where, you know what, let's meet in mid. Let's meet in mid, let's settle it. Let's settle it, you know, let's bring it to the guns. Settle it with guns. Just meet in the mid. We're going to settle this the good old-fashioned way.
I love the idea of just being like, everyone enter the gulag, you know? We don't have ISO in the game, just like everyone like 1v1, you know, match up to your mirror partner, KJ versus KJ. No, of course, these players really wanting this win. It doesn't guarantee them the next step forward in this tournament. I believe, you know, we got a lot of groups going on, tons of matches, and I expect B-Stream's probably already done with theirs. But to get this first win, to get the confidence as well that they can actually stick the landing in such a high agreement situation. Good for either team, of course. Yet to be determined.
30
Audrey
seconds
Kell
left.
down a man already, however, but JT Williams starting to run out of time a little bit. 24 seconds on the board and still no plant. They got them trying to delay a potential retake, and actually Terminal just still moved on out despite that grenade. And gets a kill, trades it out, 3v3 situation now, and 2 locked up in hell. A lot of members up in heaven. Terminal coming in through tree. Now able to find any more success. 2v2, 2v1. Audrey Kell now in a 1v1 as Tracker has been just holding out in hell here. Now, of course, playing around the spike too. Another potential ring around the rosy situation. No, Tracker's going to play it patiently. Wait for them to go on the side of that box there, but Yushi wins it regardless. Tracker was looking. Tracker was waiting for that, but perhaps didn't even believe their own eyes. And Yushi, keep calling him out, man. He is able to clutch it out when it's needed most.
Switching sides.
I'm telling. Where's the lie?
Match
I've been
point.
saying it all match long. Yushi's the finisher. They're the cleanup from RGK. Where's the lie? Where's the cap? Yushi is with all of that. I mean, they have been popping off, and again, they're not necessarily like, you know, the greatest eliminator of all time. They're not the top frag. Anime is currently the top frag, but when you need Yushi the most, that's when they answer the call. When you need a round finished, Yushi is the one to clean it up. And now, with a defensive win for RGK, they very well could take OT, they could take the map, they could take the game, now that they get a chance to play offense, and they're starting off on the right foot.
Could be big. That could be big. Started off on the right foot, but quickly critted out. Back to even. 4v4. And Spike went all the way back on the attacking side to come on through. KG still up on the defense. Utility covering both entries, I suppose, into the A sites. Anime able to pick off Mass. Audrey Kell. They've got 15. They're looking for 16 to finally end this best of one, and they are up a man, finally entering onto the site, knowing that no doubt someone is in heaven, with the sky as well, seeing the dog. Grassy, maybe just waiting for the team a little bit more, is going to be the play here, and they're going to poke out, and actually, I think these are good locations, so the paint shells come through, injure them, but do not kill them, and that is the most important thing right there, to the health out with a blind as well. They're not able to make anything happen from that, and unfortunately, it looked like there might have been a setup there. No, it is Audrey Kell getting all of the shots and getting the 16th point, finally winning here. What was that, the 4th overtime? Dang, these players, though, this talent that we're seeing here from the youngins, the high schoolers, it's pretty freaking amazing, man. That was just good old-fashioned Valorant.
100%, and there's a reason why I just love watching these matches, and I love watching these high school players play. One, because these are going to be the future prospects that we get to see potentially in collegiate Valorant, and then even further still potentially in, you know, game changers, you know, the Valorant tournament series, etc., etc. They could be the future pros. But also, most importantly, I love to realize and come to the realization just of how bad I actually am at this game, because whenever I'm D-ranking and I'm getting stomped in ranked, chances are it's because of these high school kids that are just stomping me into the ground.
Oh my gosh, the kids today are actually so much more talented. Even the casters, honestly, that I hear coming out from the Gen Zers, or it's even later apparent. I don't know. I'm like an esports boomer at this point, man. But it's just crazy. The talent coming out is absolutely crazy. But anyway, speaking of talent, let's go ahead and throw it over to, I believe, Risk and Koei for a little bit of a breakdown of that match.
What a amazing match we just got to watch.
It was so good. It went to 15 to 14.
I know, there was a back and forth match the whole entire time.
To be honest, I was really hoping for JT to win. A little biased after that amazing edited video. They were there to win.
I think we're both biased. I used to coach AK, actually.
Okay.
And that's a completely different team.
See, this is why we're sitting on two different couches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But that team was two different, you know, both teams. Fully new rosters, except for a few players. On the side of JT, you had Tracker. Tracker was there last year. Mass and I believe Grassy. Grassy was there. Okay. Because I remember a certain clip that actually they put in their montage. The op clip.
With the collateral?
Yep, and he couldn't finish the ace. That was a sad clip.
I don't
think
know, man. I would have probably sold my account at that point.
I wasn't probably I would uninstalled, deleted. That whole match was amazing. Came down to the last round.
I can't believe they hit so many shots. For high schoolers?
No, they, and even the JT Williams squad, like insane
Especially,
squad.
we're gonna talk about Ouroboros.
Insane. Where did JT find that kid? Where?
He's a paid actor.
Where was he last season? Man, they definitely needed him last season. Going up against last year's second-ranked Valorant team, JT handled themselves well, and they should be proud of themselves for that game.
So let me ask you, between JT and AK, who was higher last year?
AK was the second-ranked team.
What about
JT, I believe, might be wrong, 8th.
Oh,
maybe 6th.
okay. So the fact that they came back and hit that hard.
Yeah, that was an impressive game.
Okay.
And then, what was it? Yushi?
You mean this guy, right?
Yushi, not Yoshi.
Oh, okay,
Yushi. Yeah. Game changer in my eyes. Came out, clutched up when needed, and finished out for AK.
Wow. Yushi, this is your time. This is your moment to shine. You just got a shout out from Risk. You can take that one to the bank.
So our next game that we have coming up is going to be Washington versus Research Triangle, 2 brand new teams to the league
Both
this
in
year.
Triangle. Both in Triangle.
Both in Triangle?
The district? County?
No,
No,
they're
they're
not.
not.
Mm-mm.
Is
Two
Triangle
different
in
districts.
Triangle?
Research Triangle is in Independence, I believe. Yeah,
That's false
messing
advertising.
with your head right
What?
there.
Get a new name.
Predictions on that game. What are you thinking?
It's Triangle versus who?
Washington.
Oh, man. If it was anybody else other than Washington, I would say Triangle because the Triangle is the strongest shape. However, George Washington was also one of the strongest founding fathers. That man crossed the Delaware Bridge. History fact for you.
Fact check. That was the Delaware River.
Did I say bridge?
Yeah.
He said bridge. So I'm thinking Research Triangle takes this game. I'm interested to see what map they play. Hopefully we don't get a repeat of Ascent. Maybe we
Hopefully,
get to
that
see
was amazing.
the most recent match. Maybe new agent comes out, maybe?
ISO?
ISO.
What does ISO do?
I don't really know how to describe it. Has a wall that goes up that you can push behind.
Okay.
You can throw you and an enemy in a one-on-one in like an arena type thing. Yeah.
Is that useful when it's already a 1v1 situation? The spike has been planted.
Depends on if you're on defense or offense. Really just depends. If you're on offense, then it just buys time at that point.
So is it like a giant
But it's also
bubble?
risky at that point. Wait, what?
Is it a giant bubble or does it like
Yeah,
take
it's a
you-
giant bubble, but you're not still on the map.
Okay.
It like takes you away.
And do you get bonus stats like a boost to damage or health or
No.
anything? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
So it's just you're
Literally
coming with
you
me.
get thrown into a one-on-one and
Yeah.
nobody else.
We're gonna settle this outside 5 o'clock.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So we are going to jump over to break before we hop into our Washington and Research Triangle game.
Sounds good.
Palisades, they're trying to go all the way to number 1, so it's going to be a cat and dog matchup.
We're going to win today. We're going to win this game. We're going to win the next game. It's done.
Just around some of these angles, you plant for backside. Do you think they're coming through garage? Where are they going to be coming from? Off of the double box. They're actually going to bring the rolling thunder, and they drop it down there at the end. They're trying to be able to stick into it. They actually missed the stun. They're going to use the Z-dodge down air and Nev for the opposite end. They're looking to continue to juggle them upwards. The upward smash, and they're gone. Coming all the way back from down 3-1. They get the job done. We love close games, but 4-4. Oh, it was already. They rise to the top. The cream rises to the top. They are here.
Download our app today, and you can start your path towards learning about financial literacy.
second time to the box. Nutella, the kill isn't there. They're looking for the opposite sidewalk. There it's gone. And JT Williams, a great push by South Mech.
Now that was,
Flamethrower will miss. He's gonna be able to jump, drag them down, force them, get a grab, throw them forward, and this is gonna be continual push into the ball. They get the smash. Oh, they come back from 3-1, get 1. Oh, and that'll be set 2 for Myers Park.
Adding money to that goal to save that thing completed. Anywho, moral of the story, you can do anything that ChatGPT can do. It's just that ChatGPT is automated.
Your 2023 champion for app development, the Garinger Wildcats.
back down he goes. Needs to be, but Nick there in support. Nobody's back again. Olympic on 4-0. It's the Rocket League Finals about to heat up. Running 4-1, the count here, down under 5 seconds. Olympic, your CMS Varsity Esports and Sim League Rocket League champion. They did it. Look at their faces, happy as could be. As Nico Mari now trying to beat it, little back to the edge, and now has positional advantage. And see you later. That's game here. As it's Nev off the edge of the stage, and you see the reactions now. What a finish. Stronger on the defensive side, still outnumbered, or are they? Backside, and he wants to make an even sacrifice, popping off the 3K, has made it a 2-1 advantage, and has Empress in hand if they want it, they don't need it.
Oh, it's a rough position. Do we love Fortnite? Do they love themselves just enough? They are cornered, and they're up in heaven, and that's where they're gonna stay. There's your Butler Bulldogs. The comeback is true and done. Pumas, they came so close.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Valorant Regions qualifier for VESL VESL. It's a great name. That was an excellent advertisement, publicity. That was actually so cool, seeing all the fans cheering and the community that was coming. Makes me wish that I actually had a community in my high school or college days. We were denied a D&D club back in my day, Captain Atoka. How sad is that? They would never have looked at any of these games and said yes.
You know what? It's so funny. Yeah, it's so funny because I actually have written about this in my, now that I'm in college again. Actually wrote about it how, back in my day, yeah, we didn't have any type of esports programs. And as a matter of fact, we actually tried to start before even esports was a thing. We tried to start a gaming club at our high school and was instantly denied.
Yeah. Yep. I can't believe like this was. It sounds like this was like the 80s or something, And it's like
might as well.
No, it was. I guess so. With some of the some people's anticipation, but it really is so awesome seeing all of this coming together for the high school and college. Like it's actually just promising for the future. And such a great organization carrying things through. But I just wanted to say that because that was really well done. So shout out to the video editor for that one as well. But we are going back into some Valorant matches. We're playing all best of ones today. We're doing 4 in total. We just got done with our first one, which is a banger. Went into so many overtimes. JT Williams, unfortunately, falling just shy against Ardrikel. Now we get into Washington versus Research Triangle. And what I learned from our analyst desk set up there in the couches is that I already didn't know where they were, and then apparently no one knows. Triangle's a lie, something like that. The Illuminati is apparently coming in right now with Captain Ahsoka.
I mean, I wasn't going full. I wasn't going full Illuminati. I was just trying to make a triangle.
I feel like you were very successful, but then you put your eye in it, and then it's like, well, that's all under the bill. That's the Illuminati.
My bad. My bad. For all we know, the Research Triangle could be the Illuminati. We don't know. But yeah, regardless though, we are going to be getting into our next match. And I got to tell you, they're going to have one tough act to follow because that first match was such a banger. Again, such a great display coming from JT Williams and Ardrikel. And then Ardrikel, constantly having their back up against the wall, after time and time again, coming through with match point after match point. Still, it was just a constant tug of war, non-stop. And honestly, I'm surprised that it ended when it did. I thought we were just gonna go on forever.
Yeah, actually, I thought so too. But then I guess the key point was that finally someone won on defense, and the attacking side was easier is not the right word, but apparently more often winning, I suppose, for that particular game. We'll see if we can try and match the hype of that first game with this one, Washington versus Research Triangle. Apparently, Washington might be favored here. What we will see. I also got some team members moving and grooving, moving around the rosters and whatnot. So I guess it can be a surprise. Some other news, I suppose. Again, there is a stream B, guys. If you want to watch even more Valorant, then do check that out. It's going to be twitch.tv/GH or VSLGH. I'm not sure. I'm going to get confirmation on that. But anyway, we do have also Sun Valley versus Unlow finally finished. Sun Valley was able to take the win there. And then Research Triangle did just lose to Holly Springs A. So that's actually very relevant information. That was what's happening on Stream B. So VSLGH. I was correct on my second guess. That is the B stream. Go check that out. So yeah, we have some real information coming in here. So Washington didn't play yet, and Research Triangle has played, and they did just take a loss. So that might be affecting their mentality coming into this match.
I mean, for sure. I mean, anytime that, you're coming off of a loss, you kind of have, the mindset that, you have to correct the mistakes. And that's really what separates, the champions from the runners up, the better from the best, is being able to address the mistakes made in a previous match that you have lost, come back, correct those mistakes, and then turn that into a win. But with the amount of time that we have been allotted here, before we jump into our next matchup, I like to take a moment and bring about what I like to call the Zombie and Etsoka show. So this is where we're gonna have a little bit of a banter for a moment. This is gonna be the Zombie and Etsoka show, and right off the rip, right off the bat, we've been seeing map picks and bans. We got to see a Ascent for the first map. What map do you hope we get to see today?
Hope. I'm always hopeful for the new maps, which is the worst place to be as far as hoping, because people tend to shy away from the newer maps, especially if they haven't gotten as much practice time on them as, for instance, an Ascent, which is probably one of the most practiced maps ever. But I don't know. Aside from that, I've been really enjoying Sunset, maybe because I've actually been winning on it. So I would love to see that. I do assume everything's in the map pool. I know that the desk was also kind of talking about whether or not we'd see a new agent, trying to describe ISO's abilities. It is kind of difficult to describe. Definitely not with a lot of the same utility, the same kit as a lot of the other duelists. But I think we have a couple of people like Sliggy, from like former Team Liquid. I think he's actually a fan of him, thinks he could do really well in the professional scene anyway. I was just listening to Sean Garris talk about how like he's actually maybe really good for ladder, but isn't quite sure. So that would be really cool, because ISO would be a unique pick, the newest pick, and it might still be throwing the other teams for loops, right? Because they're not quite used to how that plays in the competitive sense. So Sunset with ISO apparently is what I want, I guess, to get really specific. How about you?
Well, currently my favorite map, I don't think is in the map pool, is Icebox. Absolutely love Icebox.
Wow.
And yeah, Icebox is my favorite map, and one of the many reasons is because Viper is my favorite agent. Anywhere Viper is viable is instantly gonna be in my top map pool selections. In Icebox, again, I love Icebox. I love everything about Icebox. I like the demeanor, I like the ice, I like the snowmen, I like everything there is about Icebox. And whenever and again, this is my opinion, Captain might be Captain, but I feel like whenever Riot decides to do a rework of a map, it's usually for the better. The Fracture rework was great. The Breeze rework, also great. Breeze is fun again. So I think the rework on Icebox is also going to be really good as well. So again, I'm really excited to see Icebox come back. I can't wait to see what the devs are doing to it. And, again, always has been my favorite map. And I think I'm going to continue to love Icebox when it does eventually come back from rework. But with that being said, we are now going to head to Lotus, another map where Viper could be viable.
Hey, it's not Sunset, but I'm actually still pretty excited for Lotus. I've been having a lot of fun on this map with doodads, as I call them, the walls.
The doodads, I like it.
Yeah, the Indiana Jones style. You didn't even realize that the wall actually goes around. No, it's been a lot of fun. Another 3-hit map as well is always interesting, I suppose. And there we do have at least one Viper, actually. Washington not going to choose to go for the Viper pick, bringing out some Gecko, though. So not the newest agent, but still one of the newer ones. Certainly found his place in the meta, I would say, compared to some of the other ones. I mean, poor Deadlock. I have to talk about her for a second. But yeah, Gecko will be fun, but no Viper on their side.
And you know, it's interesting because I've actually seen a lot of Deadlock being used on Bind and Split. That's
really?
where I've seen, yeah, that's where I've seen the pick rate for Deadlock really go up. And unfortunately for Gecko, you know, I haven't seen much of Gecko. I feel like their pick rate has been going down. But with that being said, one thing that I hardly ever see is a Sage on Lotus. I haven't seen that in, I don't want to say ever, but I feel like in a very, very long time. You know, looking over there at Research Triangle, that is kind of more in line with what I would expect for a meta composition on Lotus, going with the double controller, where on Washington they are going to go for double duelists, which I understand. It makes sense because they're on the attack. But when in forms of composition, you know, I got to say, I think I like Research Triangle just a little bit better, especially when they have that breach.
Well, a lot of it can come down to, I mean, kind of safety picks to a certain extent, right? They don't have all the time in the world to strategize and try out new things like a lot of the professional teams. They do, in fact, go to high school. I'm sure of other extracurricular activities as well. So, I mean, it can be a question of, well, I see how this works hypothetically when you know, this guy uses it on Shopify or something like that, but I don't know if I'm really comfortable with it.
Spike down.
But okay, Nolan's very comfortable on KJ, getting 1 A right off the bat, and they just actually steamrolled. It's like it didn't even take that much time to get going, but then when it did, it was actually the fastest thing. Research Triangle blazing on through there.
And, you know, I have many hot takes about this map because, again, I think I want to say it's my second favorite map, given that Haven is also my second favorite map. You can see that I like the 3-sided maps. But the point being is that with C, and again, I will die on this hill, literally, because I think C-site on Lotus is the hardest retake in Valorant. And I will literally die on the hill because there's a hill there on C-site on Lotus. So again, there's a reason that they're playing so hard on C main is to keep them from even getting a foothold onto the C-site. And once again, the push went to C and it was instantly snuffed out.
I know sometimes these first couple of rounds aren't really indicative of the future. You know, the pistol into the second win, and then you're kind of still getting a feel for each other, maybe getting warmed up and so on. But hot diggity, these have just been, you know, almost flawless. Yeah, they've arrived, they've done the thing, and then they've won. Washington, now it is finally their time, hopefully to strike back and give us another very even match, like our first best of one of the day. Especially because I thought I heard that they might be favored, but Research Triangle is coming in, guns blazing. Once again, so aggressive here, through the ball of fire. And perhaps this time it won't work out, so perhaps it will, as that kill feed just went from 0 to 1 billion. And Research Triangle will once again win. Wow, talk about taking the tempo and running with it. I mean, their hands are on the rims.
Yeah, they just took the bonus round, so now I'm not even sure what to say after that one. I mean, especially when you're looking at the buying power right now, there's a lot of economy on the side of Research Triangle, and yet you have Noel still hanging on to the Marshall. I mean, I expect they're going to buy and change, but I guess we'll see as now we head into round number 4.
My goodness, what a way to play this map, or just in general. I gotta say, you expect this to not work eventually. And yet every time you don't think it'll work.
One enemy remaining.
It works, and that's the beauty of it, I guess. I mean, this is, I don't know what this is. This is like trying to queue up for a 1v1 in a tennis match, you know, on like a public court. And then the other guy just picks up the tennis racket and it just like hits you with it. And you're like, well, this isn't tennis. So could you stop? But even this! What? Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no.
Oh yes. Yes. I mean, that's really
nice.
okay. So you remember on Ascent, You remember on Ascent when, you know, they were going back and forth and then, you know, it was like, okay, you know what, how about we just meet in mid? You know, Research Triangle has said, we're just going to meet you wherever you are. Doesn't have to be mid, doesn't have to be A, doesn't have to be C. We're just going to be coming to wherever your location is. And then it's on site. And that's it.
Yeah, no, I think yes, exactly. They think that the difference is the other team didn't really agree. So again, like one team thought they were playing Valorant, and the other team thinks they're playing, I don't even know.
Right there.
It's Overwatch,
Right there.
I guess. Yeah, like the fastest game I can think of. Like it's actually crazy. And well, finally, we're gonna get a little bit more time for Washington's, I suppose, strategies to shine. You know, I mean, I acknowledge it. Research Triangle was doing the strategy. It's just one heck of one. Washington getting some picks of their own, but that's not different. It would be different if they were actually leading the board here, and they're not. Once again, all taken down, only able to find one in return, actually. So 5-0 in 3 minutes? Has it been that long? I don't even think it's been that long.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I mean, all I know is that Research Triangle has been doing fairly well. And you know what? Again, I'm not basing it solely off the compositions, but it did look like Research Triangle knew what they were doing. When it came to the approach on Lotus, you know, I feel like they had their right, you know, the right foot forward. They had their head on the right way. And I think it's pretty evident who has spent more time practicing Lotus, and it appears to be Research Triangle.
They definitely spent more time practicing that particular type of defense. I mean, that's just got to be the case. No way that Washington queues up a practice game and matches that type of speed. You know, for the first 5 rounds, it has slowed down actually. So the 4th round was a little bit slower. 5th round was a little bit slower. This is the 6th round. Also, actually, kind of more in that typical Valorant situation. Null has a Sheriff in which they are going to get the first pick on the Cheese Meister. I just really wanted to say that name. And then they back away. And the fear that must be almost tangible for Washington here, you know? And by the way, Research Triangle is the one who just played and lost. I just want to, like, I guess there's, like, 2 options. There was kind of coming in shy and just sticking to a default situation, or they were doing what they're doing, which is just kind of rushing to a certain extent. At this point, they're simply kind of winning, although 3v2 could be a little dicey. Finding a little bit more ambiguity here. And, just kidding. What, or am I? Aqua Boy? Yeah,
Winnable.
Okay, they went for the knife again.
They went for the knife, but it was Griffin that came in and was able to finish it up with the sidearm. But you know what? You said that Research Triangle is a team that actually came off of a loss. I need to know who. Who did they lose to?
Oh, sure. Yeah, they lost to a team called Holly Springs A.
Okay, well, I need to look at Holly Springs next because they got to be pretty good. I mean, this Research Triangle team is doing fairly well. 6-0 right now currently on Lotus. And you know what? While we have a little bit of a moment here, let's do some more Zombie and Itsoka show. Where do you place your weapon when you play Valorant? Do you like it on the left or the right side?
Oh, the right.
Same. We got a couple of lefties in this matchup, though.
Yeah, no, I actually didn't really pick up on that, so you just pointed it out. I was like, oh, yeah. 3K for Bonsai, by the way, with this thing going on, well, the show's been going on. It's actually, it's like the opposite of what we were doing in the break, you know, which was kind of vamping, kind of buying time, to be honest. You know, nothing was happening. And now there is actually so much happening so quickly, and it's so redundantly. It's the same, it's the same thing, unfortunately, at the end, which is Research Triangle taking the round. And that's why we're now in the show here, I guess. It's, yeah, not what I expected at all. And then a pause, a bit of a pause. So that's, yeah, great.
Yeah, and you know what makes this even, you know, all that more detrimental for the side of Washington is that these are best of ones, you know, with a lot of Valorant matches, and I guess because today we have so many matches on the docket that we couldn't afford to do a best of 3, but Bonsai gonna be looking for 3 on those head clicks, manages to get 2 as the showstopper, and all the time in the world to use it, my goodness. And that is gonna be another flawless victory going the way of a Research Triangle.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I thought there was a break because someone said that they were in the bathroom, but I guess it didn't matter. It's Bonsai literally, well, I mean, the first 2 picks were so clean. Those were really good shots, so that's great. But then running in with the also, like, okay, that's a thing that they do. But then they actually took out their gun. And then just literally, as you said it all the time in the world, the rest of the team was coming in as well, distracting them. But still, this is like, I mean, they're kind of styling on Washington, to be honest. I'm a little worried here that Washington is going to be, well, not just down 8 rounds, but, you know, maybe even a little tilted here. They've really not been able to play their game. They have 5 ults right now, and they might not even get a chance to use it. Oh, maybe they're not!
I didn't want to be the one to say that they were flexing or styling, as it were. So I'm glad you said it. because they definitely are. This entire time, and I even made mention of this, you know, in the early rounds, that Noel is sitting on, like, again, not just Noel, but the entire Research Triangle team is just sitting on, you know, fat stacks of cash, and Noel has just been using the Marshall this entire time. Marshall and a Sheriff, and that's it.
That's what I've been noticing as well. I was like, oh, maybe they're still saving something, and then well,
no, that's
10 rounds in. So, yeah, that's very unfortunate. I mean, does Washington? How much more? I hate to be the person to be like, well, let's talk about the future, but it's just not looking good for Washington. So what I wanted to do was actually see if they're playing anyone further today. If they're the same Washington as Washington High, which isn't a guarantee, since, you know, names are duplicates all around, then they do. But if not, then this would be their only one. And I gotta say, I'd rather have this be the only one, so you can kind of forget it, you know, reset and forget it and play tomorrow or the next day, right? This is just not pretty. It's certainly not their game, and once again, even though they managed to find 1 pick, say something in this round, it's not a whole lot. 10-2.
Well, I got to tell you, Research Triangle has definitely done their homework here on Lotus. They have definitely spent time in the shooting gallery. We now do have a timeout coming from Research Triangle. And you know what? And this is actually the funny part about it. The timeouts are usually when I introduce the Zombie at Soka show. They're reserved for the timeouts. But because of the way that the game has been going, and well, the past 2 games, is that, you know, we kind of had to fit it in where we get it. So again, you know, now that we're back with the Zombie at Soka show, I want to ask you, we've been seeing a lot of Vandals and a lot of Phantoms. Which do you prefer?
Now that is an interesting question, because I was definitely like, I'm not good enough for it to really matter, honestly. So I was just like Vandal all the time, right?
Best answer I've ever heard.
but and also it's the one that I got a skin. So I was like, yeah, I gotta use the one with the skin. But actually, this past couple of months, I've been playing a lot more with the Phantom, but it doesn't have a skin. So every time that I do, I'm just like, but yeah, playing a little bit more. How about you?
Well, I was always a Vandal, you know, person, you know, for the longevity of my Valorant experience. But after watching Shopify Rebellion and being able to cast Shopify Rebellion and see how good they were with the Phantoms, I was like, okay, I got to give it a try. And then luck would have it that in the very next night market, I actually got a skin that I've been wanting forever in the night market at 30% off. And I was like, okay, I use Phantom now.
Yeah, man, I'm waiting for that night market to actually favor me. I have like a pistol skin that I also don't really like, and I do like an impulse buy just to have that. While I was talking, we once again had a situation where it looked like something could happen for Washington, and then it just apparently was never actually all that possible to begin with. The app has come out, if you didn't hear that. Multiple operators, in fact. You might have a 5 operator stack. So far 3, there's 4, there's 5. There it is. There it is.
Not like this. You didn't. Research Triangle, you didn't have to do it. They didn't have to, but they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
This is just insane. I mean, yeah, Washington, I really hope that they're able to just kind of laugh this one off and just, you know, come back again tomorrow, whenever the next series is that they do play, because Research Triangle, I mean, they're styling a little bit, but they also, I think they very much were going to kind of get some benefit from their, like, aggressive start. You know, maybe it didn't turn into these last, like, 6 rounds that we've seen, which have been kind of a little bit show-offy, but the first 4 or 5, it's like, well, the strategy worked. The there we go. The hyper-intense rush at them, it works, even if you're not, you know, the superior team.
Switching sides.
But then the rest of the rounds happened, and it's just one of those, okay, I guess this wasn't really possible to begin with. But give another day, certainly give another team, and Washington, I believe, would be totally fine. But not now. And it is once again going to be Research Triangle with timeout.
Yep, I mean, use him if you got him. But again, now it's time for more of the Zombie at Soka show, and it's my favorite part of the show. So anyway, honestly, you know, after we even got to take a look at some of the POV of, you know, Washington, the thing about it is that I don't think they have a lot of time in Valorant, because you watch the way they use their weapons, you watch the way that they aim, you watch the way that they shoot, and clearly they're trying to use mechanics that are popular in other shooters, be it like Apex, Call of Duty, maybe even Overwatch, etc. But clearly they are not they haven't had time in TAC shooters. It's a different format. It's a different type of play style. It's a whole different game. So again, you know, Washington, I think, is just experienced in other shooters and not particularly Valorant. Whereas on the other side for Research Triangle, they spent some time in Valorant, and you can tell that they know what they're doing. So again, you know, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it all comes down to play time, how much experience that you have. And Research Triangle, they just have more experience in Washington.
I mean, their play style at times can feel a little bit more like some other type of, not even attack shooter, honestly, more like a battle royale or something. But then you watch some of the clean shots that go through, or the utility usage, and you're like, okay, well, they're also just able to play some typical, I suppose, Valorant, some default setups, and getting just the isolated duels and whatnot. But now we have the opposites, of course, of the 5-op. We go into the second half, and that is nothing but guns, pistols, rather. So, Research Triangle. I would not be shocked if they did the exact same thing on attack as they do on defense, which just rush to a certain location. But they've actually gone past rushing to the spike point, the spike plant, and just rushed after their opponents, which is going well enough. 3v1, the Gecko last alive, and this could just be it.
It very well could be. I mean, at this point, we're playing deathmatch. You know, and deathmatch is a mode on Valorant. It is a thing. Deathmatch in Valorant is a thing, and that's what we just got for that last round. And it will be Research Triangle taking the win, 13-0 over Washington.
I actually have to check how long that was. So I made a post at 5:03, and then we had like the desk and like
don't
break,
clock them. Don't
that was
clock them.
I won't. But that was some of the fastest Valorant I've ever seen. Very unfortunate for Washington, right? But I guess the Research Triangle just wanted to get some quick revenge for their previous round not going their favor. So they sit at 1-1. I guess now, and then Washington will get another chance later on. Actually, we were matched apparently by another best of one. Cyber Academy versus West Craven is also already done. So I don't know if they started sooner or what, but I gotta imagine Stream B is maybe in round 5 or something. I don't know if we have to wait for them. I don't think that we do, but I'm at a loss. If we were behind schedule for our first best of one, I think we now are ahead of schedule.
Yes.
Like half an hour. So I don't even know. Are the couch people there? Did they go and take like a bathroom break and are now just like rushing back? Because I actually am kind of concerned about that. I'd still be trying to walk around the venue or whatever if this was like a LAN. And I'd be like, wait, what? And I'd be racing back right now. No confirmation on that. So, and unfortunately, not much to talk about when it comes to that game. That is the truly unfortunate thing. So we're back to the Atsoka and Zombie Grub show, I guess, which is, you know, our producer's name Pizza Time. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Oh, me? Honestly, I'm a big fan of Canadian bacon. I actually also really do love, like, you know, Hawaiian pizzas, even though they're not really Hawaiian.
I like them.
You know, it's like Canadian bacon, pineapple. I'm definitely an advocate for pineapples on pizza. Again, I absolutely love it. But at the same time, like I said, I am a weirdo. But with that being said, speaking of weirdos, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to a couple of more weirdos. Let's throw it back to our analyst at the venue. Take it away.
Wow, I don't know how I feel about that one.
What is your analyst of what just happened?
Young team, new team to the game.
Yeah.
So I did say Research Triangle was gonna take it.
Okay. Yeah, I did say the triangle was the most strongest.
But
shape.
didn't you say something about George Washington?
Yeah. Well, see, what happened was I said George Washington crossed the Delaware Bridge, which is actually incorrect. And that obviously threw off the team. And they were like, oh, no, that's not our history. It was the river. They sailed across small little boats, not sailed.
You know,
They took small little boats across the small river.
it seems like that was a new team, so a lot of things they can learn from this experience. You know,
Yep.
Go back, watch the VOD, look over it, and you know we have the next season starting sometime in the next few months. So after this season, you know, keep the grind up, learn. Eventually, you guys will have a coach that will be coaching you guys.
Is that you?
No, don't think I'm going to be going back and
Sorry.
coaching anytime soon.
Okay.
Maybe I'll make a return to coaching, but
Just for Washington.
just for Washington, we can turn it around. Let me know. Let me know, Washington.
Yeah. So my question is, the players from Washington, were they also playing in the COD tournament?
I wouldn't have been surprised, to be honest. They did a lot of running gunning. That does not work in Valorant, unfortunately.
Unless your name is Jet.
No, not even when you're playing Jet, man.
Darn.
It's just they're a young team. You can tell that they're new to the game. So hopefully they can bounce back, maybe change some things up. It's a lot of just fundamentals with the game. So gun skill, knowing not to run and gun, and everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess the silver lining when playing against the other team is like matchmaking. I wouldn't assume it puts you against somebody or a team that's so much greater than you.
I would start by playing the game some. Did notice that some of the accounts were almost brand new. So, learning the game, that means playing it. It's like me in Rocket League. It's rough. I have to actually put time into it.
True.
Don't really want to put that much time into it, though. So
I can't relate because I'm just great at every game I play. So,
oh man,
sorry, just you.
Yeah, apparently, just me. Yeah, they just need to put time into the game, play some ranked, see where they stand.
Perhaps they can queue with Triangle over there and take a few lessons.
Triangle. I can't even talk about them because it was hard to sit there and tell what they need to work on. But because they kind of were just running it down.
Yeah, you kind of need a trial through fire.
Yeah,
in order to
exactly.
tell. Yeah,
exactly. I wonder who they play next. Maybe our producer can figure out who Research Triangle's playing next and on what stream.
Could it be anybody from the Triangle District?
Maybe, could be.
Okay,
potentially. But yeah, you can't really determine what they need to work on. We got some good teams in the league, some great players, and each season's different. So we'll see where Research Triangle lands themselves in the next day or two. See where they land in the bracket. We have bracket play come Thursday and Friday, which some of the top talent in the state coming out and competing, which should be awesome to see.
I am very interested to see if their next match is going to be as one-sided as the one we just watched.
Yeah, we'll see.
Have they played before in this
Research Triangle has not.
Okay.
They are brand new. They are a first season team. So is Washington. So, you learn.
Could there have been better operator matchups?
I liked what I saw from Research Triangle, and I don't remember if Washington had a smoke player, actually. The big thing for me for Washington is that they need to learn to use utility. I saw the Breach use a few stuns, but nothing else really came out. It was a lot of staying back, not taking space. They kind of bunched up in one area, so kind of spreading out, taking map control, using utility, and just fundamentals of Valorant. Just learning, 1, not to run a gun, 2, aim head level, and, just placement. That's the big thing with Valorant is what angles you want to take gunfights at.
Mm-hmm. So maybe if they tried a more difficult game called CS:GO 2.
Ooh. So the big thing with CS:GO and Valorant, 2 different games, sort of. The movement's different. You can kind of run and gun with CS:GO. It's a little less damaging to you when you're moving and shooting. So.
Yeah, I kind of gleaned that from the match where I completely destroyed you in our 1v1.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't have evidence of that. So,
wow, really gonna pull the evidence card on me? Okay,
there's no evidence of this matter. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what? Next time we 1v1, it's gonna be on your stream.
I think we should. We get a 1v1. Me and Co. CS:GO. Maybe Valorant. Maybe we'll do Valorant.
But then I would have to learn the operators, the maps,
or
how to not move.
Roboverse.
Oh, buddy. You're challenging.
1v1 Roboverse.
You're challenging the guy. The Roboverse guy.
The mastermind.
With an op. Yeah, Jet with a... See, look, I didn't even know that was a great matchup until the caster said
So
something
I'm
about it.
super interested. When am I going to see the full release of Roboverse?
Buddy. So for you and everybody else is interested, you guys should tune in tomorrow. Right here. This place. This time. This stream. And you get to maybe potentially learn a thing or two.
I guess we got some big things coming tomorrow for Roboverse then.
Yes, we do.
I'm interested now.
The time is now, ladies and gentlemen. Start your engines.
All right. Well, I think we are going to be right back with our next match. I'm interested to see what the competition brings us now.
I can't wait to see who styles on who with an op.
We're going to go to a break.
The capability that Barris does, he finds the back of the net so often. He's got Lego across, good pass, up play, find his way in. Challenging for sure, Saab trying to get around Crow. Saab was trying to get a bump on Crow and it didn't matter.
Supra, they're going to try and be mechanical flip reset. They actually just make it out. Supra does.
He's already got the ball. Let's see what he can do with it. He's going to lead this one in. He puts it in. We'll try the ceiling shot and has it. What a shot from a tap.
This one's still up 0 seconds. Nice. It goes in.
Whether it's to get a challenge or elsewhere, Peyton showing up his skill.
Hold out your hand, let me feel you as
It's time. This one to the top of the box and a shot in. Looking a good pass across Gibson in legend. There it is. A pass. Fortnite's able to push it over. Ginger's ready. He'll take a shot and it's in. Wow, Olympic. In fact, they miss, and they get one on the board. Bro bronze it.
Down the side could punish. He has a chance at 0, and he gets it. Oh, no. With another big bang, there's no one defensively set up for the dog. An opportunity. Gotta watch out. 0 looking to crush it, and they will find it. Put them on ice.
Look at him. Oh my goodness. Skimit has done it. Oh my. From the ceiling is Creeper and he's got one. We're seeing a possible another one. And they call it. It's an end zone goal. to keep going. But look what just happened. They can do things like this. As far as they post, Fortnite couldn't find it. Ginger Ace, the follow-up shot is perfectly placed to the far side. Olympic back with
Welcome back, everyone. We're in the midst of the Valorant regional qualifiers. We got 2 best of ones down. Massively different best of ones. One went to many overtimes. The other one was determined with 13 rounds. Washington did just lose to Research Triangle, 0-1. And now we move on to our third best of one of the day, which I do want to replicate the first one, but I will take, about halfway between the two if we mix some. If we could at least get a little bit more of that back and forth, I think we'd have a lot more to talk about rather than just, pizza toppings, which I'm glad you're a fellow pineapple lover. I also think it's totally fine on pizza.
If not even just delectable. I mean, it goes beyond being fine. But with that being said, we got to get into some more Valorant because I really do want to see the next matchup. And honestly, I really want to see, I want to see Haven. I feel like I haven't been on Haven in quite some time. Again, Bind has really been coming into the pick rate, and I feel like it's been replacing Haven as far as pick rate because Ascent hasn't gone anywhere. Ascent's not going anywhere anytime soon. So to anybody that doesn't like Ascent, get used to it. Regardless, I'm looking forward to seeing another map. So far, we got to see Ascent. We got to see Lotus briefly. Got to see Lotus, but now we're going to go into our next matchup between New Bern and NC Cyber Academy.
Yeah, New Bern Team A as well, able to field multiple teams then, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I have no idea what to expect from this. Have they played is always the good thing to check. It looks like these teams are fresh. So they have not played as of yet, unless one of these acronyms is one of them. But yeah, so they'll be coming in fresh, where we know that Research Triangle is coming in after a loss and more than made up for that, I believe, although still kind of a sting, obviously, as we look towards the future and we think about, okay, well, one loss isn't the end of the world, I suppose, in groups, but then, suddenly you're on the knife's edge and it's actually going to matter, but that'll be for a little bit later. We do have a B stream, by the way, guys. Make sure to check that out as well. We'll be casting CEEC versus South Mecklenburg. That's the best thing about these things, is finding out all these different city names and high school names and trying to keep up with everything.
And trying to pronounce them. Especially, yeah, they got some out there that is that can throw you through a loop. And I got to tell you, for anybody that wants like some caster's insight on what really makes our day, it's seeing a player name and pronouncing it correctly on the first try. To me, that's just peak casting right there. It's just getting the pronunciation right on the first try. That's like getting a headshot for a caster.
As long as it's like I get the most satisfaction after knowing a particularly difficult word or like a different language's word, because if it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I guess it's Abdfish, and they're like, no, it's actually pronounced Abdfish, I'm gonna be like, well, that's okay, agree to disagree, I suppose. But when there's some cool name like Orbos, for instance, actually, that's not always something that I would immediately pick up on, especially because it's been a while since I've played Resident Evil. I did play through the remakes 2 Halloweens ago, 3 Halloweens ago, and they were hecka fun. But I think I played 5 literally when it came out. So when the heck was that? I don't even know.
Yeah, I want to say that was 2010, if my memory serves me correctly. But with that being said, you know what? Like I said, we are getting ready to head into our next matchup here. Once again, friendly reminder that we're going to have New Bern A versus Cyber Academy, and I do believe that we have a message from Cyber Academy themselves. So let's hear what they got to say.
Apparently, it was their gameplay doing the talking and some pretty feisty gameplay at that. Was I correct in seeing that they were changing their settings in between all those 1v1s? Like,
I mean, sometimes you got to do it on the fly, you know.
I guess, but between every 1v1 and 3 in a row, that's pretty cool. These guys are way too fast to find me. Anyway, pretty impressive stuff there. As we are getting the lobby still set up, I believe, so a little bit of a delay because, well, I can understand it. We had a super long match, and then we had one of the fastest matches ever, so I feel like the time is just a little disjointed. Seems like we are getting into it, though, and it will be, hey! It's Ascent.
I told you, it's not going anywhere. I mean, it's Ascent. Not going anywhere. Although I will say that I am interested in these compositions that we're seeing, because right now I'll go ahead and give you the breakdown, and by all means, if I'm capping, say captain's capping. But what the meta composition on Ascent has been, and I think will continue to be, is going to be the KJ-KO combo, Sova Odin, Jet and or Raze. It can be either or, and then wait, no, I think I covered it. I think I covered it all.
I think you did, actually.
KJKO, Sova. Oh yeah, Omen. I forgot the smokes.
Yeah,
you can go Omen or you can go Astra. Again, either or. And that's what makes these really interesting, because we're seeing from Newburn A and Cyber Academy that they're not really going with any of the traditional meta picks other than a KJ coming from Cyber Academy. Although I will say that Sage and Sky on Ascent isn't entirely unheard of, being that, again, you do have the window peak on B main that Sage can use Ice Wall on, and you can also Ice Wall mid. So again, not completely, out of the ordinary. Also, some duelists on the Phoenix. I have seen a little bit of that as well. Raze, again, another one, but still, we're stemming far from what we are used to seeing as far as composition here is on Ascent.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely not standard much at all. I've actually been seeing some experimentation with ISO, so it was also, again, because I saw one of them also played ISO in that little highlight reel that we saw, but no, not to be. All right, so Newburn A will be coming in on the defense for the first half. Cyber Academy coming in on the attack. Let's see if their highlight reel is just that, a highlight reel. That's actually how they look all the freaking time, as they have all stacked up to hit that A site. So we do have some Cypher utility. Tripwire could trip them up, I suppose, but they are, looks like they're gunning for it pretty quickly. We'll check there. Actually, a check here from the fade. So they know about it, and we do have the rotate of the defenders coming in. Cyber Academy, if they pull the trigger really quickly, might have been able to overwhelm the 5v3, but now instead what they have is a fully rotated defensive team. They're going to try and rotate themselves back, maybe catch a few people poking their head out through mid, and then perhaps actually hit B. They could maybe also go through trees, especially if they don't get sighted. I mean, it's a little confusion on the side of the defenders, but it will be a full rotate over to the B side.
Yeah, that it would. I mean, they did use a little bit of utility there on the A side, and they also drew out a little utility as well. So again, no love lost. And it's going to be a free take on the B side. The rotation from Cyber Academy was not quick enough on the draw, and that is a free plant onto B for Newburn.
Sorry, the graphics were reversed, guys. Just to be super clear, Cyber Academy on the defense. Also getting torn the freak down. Where my dad? Able to find one in turn and still alive, but can they take down 4 is the question. They're already injured. Got a nice dodge away from the flash. They were able to reload, but now they're even further injured, and it's just a matter of numbers here. So Newburn A on the attack will in fact get the first round.
They're still fighting.
Yeah, and they were quick on the draw. Honestly, their pace was extraordinarily fast, even though it might not have looked like it. I mean, you got to keep in mind is that they went for a bait and switch here, and it was actually pretty speedy. I mean, they went initially onto A, they dropped a couple of utility, and then instantly rotated. They didn't wait to see if they were going to rotate. They didn't try and calculate whether or not they could take A. They just decided to throw a little bit of util on A and then instantly rotate over towards B, and then even the rotation was not slow at all. You heard every single footstep as they were on their way to B, full trucking it towards the B site. So, you know, even though it didn't seem like a speedy round, it was still very high-paced play coming from Newburn to start things off.
Compared to our last map, I mean, it was slow. It was a freaking turtle. But no, it was still pretty speedy. And now we have, I think, I think Cyber Academy is trying to kind of estimate what's going to happen next. You know, they put their Cypher over on B, as that was the site that was ultimately hit, I suppose. But then also an aggressive stance in a raise, trying to get the pick on people. Rushed into A. Has not worked, but I'm trying to see where they were going with that, and now it's going to be a full rotate over to defend that A site. It's kind of, I feel like it's a little tricky. You know, I was deciding whether to go for that full rotate, especially because there is still that option, well, not anymore, for attackers to rotate. But in this case, it was the good thing for Cyber Academy to all
Spike down A.
On site.
One enemy remaining.
It might just be too little, too late. You burn A with 4 members left alive and getting the plants. Certainly prone to winning a 4v1. So I think they're good.
Yeah, and you know what? I really feel for that Cypher that was holding on to the shorty there on A site, because there's nothing more demoralizing than, you know, hitting someone in the chest with a shotty and not getting the elimination. So it feels bad. You know, same thing can be said for that Brimstone. I mean, they managed to hit with the Bucky, but you got to keep in mind the Bucky doesn't have the best range in the world. So kind of expected, but still feels bad just because they did land both of their shots. They didn't miss. They were on target, but it just wasn't enough. And now we are heading into a rifle round, or rather a buy round for Cyber Academy. This is going to be their opportunity to answer back and to deny New Burn A the bonus round.
Yeah, Cypher will be appropriately placed this time, as New Burn A is all stacking into B. Checking out B main. And then now actually heading onto the site. The dog leading the charge, looking around, trying to find their opponents. Little Skybird actually came out to distract them a little bit. And certainly giving them the knowledge this actually will be a B hit. The rest of Cyber Academy coming on in to defend that site. And in fact, with so many members now there, it is certainly time for New Burn A to try a different approach. Cyber Academy kind of already keen on it. Smoke comes down, which is coming, the Sky Smoke instead of any other type of smoke is a little surprising. But yeah, Sky Smoke comes down, kind of clears the way through mid. And Ive on the Sage, going to be a lurker, hoping to catch someone from behind. Clorks! Actually in prime position alongside Where My Dad 5 to take New Burn A down to 2. It seems like Cyber Academy can just use their man advantage really to overcome this particular situation. Everyone collapsing on in, now going to be chasing down the spike carrier. And there we have a flawless for Cyber Academy's first win in this.
Well, here we go. I mean, our second match on Ascent today, and it is just following right along as expected. First 2 rounds go to New Burn A, and then of course the bye round goes to Cyber Academy, and now we're in true Valorant here. We are now going into what should be a bye round, or at least a rifle round for both sides, with the exception of a couple that were not able to buy. Actually, they could buy if they wanted to, but it looks like some are trying to save. But with that being said, we are now going to be heading into round number 4 now, and I'm going to call it here and now. Before this match is over, we are going to see a Sage peek on window on B main using the ice wall. It's got to happen.
I think it'll happen. Yeah, I do. But notably no Jet, so I just might go see a Jet off combination. Could see another combination. A is going to be the target, but a little bit of that lurk as well coming in. Actually, it is gonna be very effective. I finds Clorks in the wrong direction. There we have a wall taking out this particular archway, and the plant will come through. So a 4v5 situation. Cyber Academy a little bit of a disadvantage right now. Getting time to plan out their retake. Fade leading here, trying to scout out where their opponents are, taking out the KJ turret as well. Nothing to worry about. And now we have into the exec in the process as trades are going down. It is at the end of the day very much favorable for New Burn A, who grab the 3rd point on this half, and with 2 left alive.
They look like us, but
yeah, and now they get the rifles and they get the monies. I mean, look at Cyber Academy. They do have some monies on their side as well, but I'm wondering if they're going to be able to come through with the full buy. Meanwhile, you're looking at New Burn A, and again, they do have some change there. I mean, I'm looking particularly at Lunar there at the bottom, the KJ, who is sitting on a nice chunk of change, but refuses to get off of the Stinger for whatever reason. And if anybody is there, we go. Thank you. I was about to say, anybody that's ever heard me cast before knows my disdain for the Stinger.
It's actually something I don't even think I've ever bought. I'm sure I have, but I just never think about it. This is already a bit of chaos into the B site. Expecting some job at the very least. Although it did just take out the Phoenix ult, so not a complete job, I should say. 5v5 and a lot of movement on the map. Where my dad? Probably calling out where the heck is my team. Hello! Everyone's coming in. Cage could not hide them for very long. That actually took a very long time for Cyber Academy to kind of decide, I suppose, where they were going to come in from. And now that they are coming in, despite losing their Cypher right off the bat, they are actually taking down the members of Newborn A pretty quickly. I got the actually Rays coming in, so the Skydog might have been. Oh no, I was going to be able to check Boathouse. That's something. Women scare me. Boo.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Last player standing.
Oh.
Anyway, that is Cyber Academy's second round.
These player names, my goodness. But yes, that is going to be a round going to Cyber Academy. They're going to strike back against New Bern. And things are getting very interesting. Almost as interesting as these player names.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy that we don't get the full list right off the bat. I think what some of the teams have the list that was given to us preemptively, but we don't get to, like, I don't know, pay attention to it the most, I suppose. We're talking about the age, we're talking about the map, talking about previous rounds, whatever it is, and then suddenly you just look down and there's a beautiful name just like that. I like it. Maybe, you know, maybe the name will change with growth as well, too. That'll be something to pay attention to.
Well, here we are now getting ready to head into round number 6. New Bern A still with the lead, but it does look like they are forced into an eco round. So very well could and should be the equalizer for Cyber Academy, although we do see some rifles in the hands of New Bern. But yet that poor Phoenix just stuck with a classic, as it does look like the spike is going to head towards A.
Checking out New Bern A's ultimate list here. I mean, they could try and clear the site with the Brimstone. Not gonna be. I mean, tree actually would be really tasty if you get a scout. Everyone's dispersed at this point. Never mind. So at least it's gonna be just a contact coming in eventually. Utilities have all been thrown out, and it actually ended up staying kind of the same situation, which was that New Bern A is still looking to hit that A site. Unfortunately, losing 2 members make that 4. And the blink of an eye at the end there, and Cyber Academy are going to stand their ground, no problem. The only question now is if they can make it a flawless.
30
I think
seconds
they
left.
I mean, they should have a pretty good inclination of where the last player is. Again, you got Lunar here, Lucent Lunar, holding out in towards the corner. And again, I'm not really sure what we're going to be looking for here. Maybe an exit frag. Other than that, it's not going to be much doing, as they should have been exposed by the haunt. Yeah, they know exactly where Lucent Lunar
10
is.
seconds
so
left.
Again, this should be the final elimination. They're going to go for the push. Here it comes. Final few seconds left in the matchup. Lucent Lunar still holding on. And there goes the showstopper, and it does connect for a flawless victory.
It was really, necessary. I don't know, maybe holding on to it. Flawless always looks nice though, and I suppose there's always that chance that they just all run in and all get gunned down. But that is a surefire way to ensure the flawless. Bringing out the old rocket launcher. New Bern A, though, I was just pointing out, their ultimates and what could have happened in that last round. It didn't happen, but now pointing out it again. 4 ultimates on their side, including the man up one from Sage. So. I mean, some risks could be taken in a sense, but they're playing cautiously over to what is now going to be a B hit with the noise from the Sage lurk as well, perhaps. Hungry Hippo leading the charge. Tripwire. It's going to be a rotate.
Just got to take a moment to thank the devs for buffing Cypher as well as they did. I feel like Cypher has become a lot more viable, even though they're not necessarily the meta pick on most maps. They still have their niche, and when they do come out, those Cypher players that are out there, they definitely make a strong case for Cypher as a pick. And I'm all here for it, as Clorks is there in Wine to get the pick on Ive.
First pick of the round. Coming down to try and get a read on whether or not that's actually going to be a push through A. In fact, it was a misread. A little bit awkward. I mean, I think that the Fade would have got the kind of retreat to begin with. Can't just defend all alone. But Works here to help out now, and actually a couple more people. So we quickly were able to figure out that it was still intentions heading toward A, and in fact now taking an aggressive stance
down A.
against Newburn
One
A.
enemy remaining.
You could argue they missed an opportunity to get onto site, and are once again stuck in the corner. And this time, no rocket launcher had to come out to grab that flawless for Cyber Academy.
You know what? This is an interesting skin because that was my first time actually seeing that skin that Venom had. This is like an airflow in it. That is actually a pretty gnarly skin. I'm not gonna lie. I have seen this melee weapon skin before. I've definitely seen that, but for that Phantom skin, no, I've not seen that. Again, this is another reason why I really love watching these matches because you never know what you're gonna see. I mean, again, you're gonna have some unique skins out there as well. But with that being said, we're now getting ready to head into round number 8. Another bye round. And this time the advantage should go the way of Newburn as they have 4 ults at the ready.
Yeah, but they had that last time as well. I mean, 3 the round before that. It's just they haven't seemed to really have an ideal time to use it. I feel like they could at least guarantee that they get on the site to get a plant because they have those space clearers. They have... Let's just grab the one right off the bat. But they have those space clearers, you know? They have the KJ ult that can push people mostly off of site, and then anywhere that isn't covered, I mean, they could technically Brimstone ult. But choosing not to do so. And, you know, it's definitely not desperate times call for desperate measures yet. They're only down a round, so there's also that. Some of these ones actually used would be nice. Unfortunately, it's getting gunned down when it comes to duels, so they can't really depend on that. And the attack Killjoy ult did come down. It pushed someone way back into the corner of Boathouse. That person now appears with plenty of time. And plenty of advantages. So, yeah, the spike got planted, a couple extra credits in your pocket, but Newburn A doesn't really feel like they're able to find a lot of success, even though they have 3 rounds on the board. The last 2 rounds, actually the last 3 rounds, I should say, actually kind of making me a little bit nervous for them.
I gotta give credit to Where's My Dad on that one because, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it was clearly a one-sided venture in the favor of Cyber Academy as a team, but Where's My Dad definitely, I feel like, put that round on their back. Again, they came out with a fantastic play just to start things off. They were able to, first of all, throw down the Cypher Cage, plant the Cypher Cage, and then not only that, but they also used the camera so that way they can get the information, and as soon as they got the info, they popped the Cypher Cage to where immediately no one could see the Cypher, but they could see them. Again, that was a great play, and then they also got a flank for another 2K as well. So again, that was a great play coming from Where's My Dad. But now we got another timeout, and once again, we have the zombie at Soka Show. We already got to talk about our maps. We got to talk about our favorite weapons. Now I got to ask you, we already know my favorite agent because it's Viper. I've already said that, but I got to ask you, who is your favorite agent? Who's your go-to?
Yeah, I used to be Skye, but I've actually just mostly played Killjoy at this point. So, and Phoenix was actually I think he was the first guy that I played way back when. And then he was so out of the meta for so long that even on the ladder, I was getting yelled at for picking him. So, you know, that deterred little old me who doesn't have any confidence in a team-based game. But yeah, Killjoy, I pretty much never get yelled at for playing Killjoy. And it's like even like the worst Killjoys, as long as you can plant some decent utility, seems like they still get some credit.
Well, I mean, KJ, in my opinion, is definitely the meta Sentinel. Like when it comes to Sentinels, KJ is viable on basically every single map. I mean, there might be a map, let's say Bind, where you might want to go with a Cypher instead, or even a Chamber. Even though Chamber's like a pseudo Sentinel, but still, KJ is viable on every map.
Yeah, like a Breeze as well. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult, but like no one yells at me is the important thing. The engagement's starting to go down here. I mean, good point. You know, the Cypher really brought a lot to that last round. It just doesn't feel that Newburn A is really able to collect anything that looks very favorable. The thing that leads to the next thing is yet to happen for them in particular. Maybe going to change right here as they are able to trade out. Kin, though, very, very injured and now looking the wrong direction. Well, actually, in such a difficult position, they somehow survive. I'm not exactly sure how, but they are the only one who has survived. And now, unfortunately, not even able to trade out at the end. It does kind of get all tied up in a nice little bow, just with a different direction than I was expecting. And Cyber Academy continues their lead and continues the momentum, too. This is really starting to get quite worrying.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they literally were given an inch, and now they are beginning to take a mile. I mean, look at the economy. It is going 100% in the way of Cyber Academy. They even have Cyborg, who has reached their limit at 9,000 credits. That, and again, that is insane that they have that many credits. Finally, they do buy. They are able to buy for Vodiak, actually, or Voidak. You know, I was right, Vodiak. They were able to buy from Vodiak, and that's, again, just, it's crazy how much they have managed to gain in such a short allotted amount of time. Is now you can see round number 10 well and underway, and already, where's my dad? Able to find an elimination.
Yeah, they kind of, it almost seemed like they wanted to burst on through there, but that's been ineffective, and now, not exactly slow going it, but everyone from Cyber Academy has been able to get ready, although that might not matter. Hungry Hippo might have been deterred initially with their ult, I believe, but they come in with their actual real life, I suppose, and they are slapping. They're helping their team out tremendously with now a 3K, still alive, could even do a little bit of healing if they wanted to with their firewall, and that's exactly what they do. And Cyborg Tiger, only one left alive for Cyber Academy. Cyber. Perhaps they get a little bonus for that. Utility's taken out. It's a 1v2, but they have 31 health. They can't hit themselves, unfortunately. The Great Sky Weakness.
One enemy
Good dog
remaining.
to check on Hell. And wait, they got a kill with that? Oh my god! Oh my god! What? Oh, they got a kill with the dog, and then they actually got a 4K to end it with the defuse. Excuse me?
Clutch.
Well, you were asking if they got a bonus. I think you got your answer.
I guess I did. What in the world? I mean, I didn't realize that Brimstone was that weak, first of all, so that was just on me, kind of. But still,
Brim's
the fact
health
that they were able
bar.
to win that.
Brim's health bar was literally gray. I didn't even see any red there. Like, I saw no health on the Brimstone. Honestly, a strong breeze might have been able to take them down. But honestly, I didn't know that the doggo even took health. I didn't even know you take damage from that. But now I know.
It's like exactly 2 health or something. If they had 2 health, the dog does 2 health. I'm not actually sure, but it is a very, very minimal amount that I would say doesn't usually end up creating such a drastic difference. I mean, it obviously would have been nice to help out with the 1v2. If it had just, you know, kind of stunned them, but cloud vision, whatever it is. But it, you know, it did actually kill them. Like, oh my goodness. Crazy stuff here as Cyber Academy continues their lead. I mean, even if they had ended up losing that round, they have such a comfy economy. It wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world, but they're able to just hang on by the skin of their teeth, and now are looking to get an 8 have an advantage here. We have both Brimstones with an ultimate, which could be used from the defenders to flush out Hungry Hippo in wine, if they even really need to. But, you know, as the time ticks down here, I guess right now, time is on Cyber Academy side. New Burn A's got to figure out a way to actually get this spike planted.
They can definitely try and fake the rotate, which I think they are, but at the same time, you got so many players, well, not so many. I mean, you have at least 2 players there looking out towards mid and towards tree. I think they know that it's not a fake, that they're not rotating, that they're still there in A main. I mean, they have the intel, so they should be able to counter this push that is now underway, and it will be Venom with the 2K. Not biting on the fake. Venom closes things out with a 4K to win the round for Cyber Academy.
That is kind of painful. You get so close to winning a round and at least getting something, you know, particularly for morale, and the next one is just another dominant victory from the side of Cyber Academy. Concussed, by the way, is what I was looking for the dog. But anyway, so now New Burn A, 5 rounds behind. I mean, they could be looking at a better second half if their defense is a lot better. But I kind of feel like not everything's mixing and matching. I don't see necessarily that strong cohesion and plan coming forward like we saw, you know, in the first best of 1 today, where it was just so neck and neck, and both players were really playing some fine Valorant, both teams rather. I am looking forward to a change in their favor. We'd love to see some more rounds come in for New Burn A, but the A site has not necessarily been their friend. At least they will continue not being their friend. Stuck in a corner once again, trying to get their way out of it. Managed to do a trade. There we go. Oh, that's actually pretty good. New Burn A getting the res, making a 5v3. Delayed by the Brimstone ultimates. Or no, that was their ultimate. That was so close. Oh my gosh. I actually thought it was the defender's one. He still has it, by the way, on top of 3 kills right now. And he won't have to use his ultimate. New Burn A, 5v3 after the Sage res, tries to force their way through A, and is unfortunately unsuccessful. 3 still alive for that at Cyber Academy. I know it's the half, but still, it just feels like New Burn A cannot get things together to actually get around.
Yeah, the moment you think that New Bern is going to come away, or I don't even know, it's getting out of hand. The moment that you think New Bern has done the job and is getting ready to come away with the dub, you know, Cyber Academy, this goes here. Again, they managed to take round after round, and right now we're looking at a 9-3 half. You know, this is definitely a one-sided first half, especially when you're on a map like Ascent, where, you know, it has been debated that this is pretty neutral. So the fact that they got a 7-round lead going into the second half with no real benefit going the way of Cyber Academy, or rather no real advantage going the way of New Bern, you can only imagine that Cyber Academy is just going to continue to build their lead.
Yeah, I certainly imagine it to be so. Things can really change tempo-wise when you change the half. Sometimes, you know, even the roster, the agent selection can certainly favor one way or another, but I would say maybe the biggest thing that I'm thinking of is that maybe in New Bern A, you like default setup, kind of just covering their bases, dotting their I's defensively and playing a slower game. It'd actually be better for them because it seemed like when they were stacking together offensively, it just didn't end up doing very much. And perhaps it's something they could change in the future for their attack side. But defensively, they have split up. If they take isolated duels, good for them. But if they're able to kind of just get like contact and then team up together, perhaps standing their ground will favor them more. This is what I'm hoping for their sake. Cyber Academy seems to have chosen their sites. It will be an A hit. And there are quite a few members of New Bern A now defending, keeping their Sage on B in case that it's a bit of a fake. But I do believe Cyber Academy reaching that point, sub 30 seconds, they got to make the move. It's got to be on A.
It's like they're faking the fake, you know, like they're committing now. Finally, it looks like to A. They don't have time to rotate to B. You've got to go. You've got to push now. And already you can see Women Scare Me out in from the corner looking to get a read, but it will be Cyber Academy to find the eliminations, as now the body count is in their favor. 4v2 now, as the spike will be planted on the A side.
I like that. The fake, because I would not say that they would be shy or unconfident coming into this half, although maybe they do have to be. New Bern A suddenly find themselves in a 1v1, which I've actually wins. Things get turned around 180 within 2 seconds. The rest of the members of New Bern A came in and were able to finish the job, of which the defenders on the actual site were able to complete. So that, I mean, I'm glad for it. It's not it's the twists and turns were very entertaining, but we got to the destination that I wanted, which was that New Bern A finally getting another point on the board, getting a chance as well to, of course, get a second as they won that pistol. Right? I'm not totally... Yeah, exactly. Yep, I can count rounds correctly. So that's good news for New Bern A.
Oh, 100%. And, you know, I'm thinking here that New Bern... Well, rather, not New Bern, but Cyber Academy, I think they just got a little overconfident.
Towards the end.
Yeah, just a little bit there. I think they might have got a little bit overconfident. You know, 4v2 into the post plant. They think they secure the round, and then all of a sudden, not so much.
True. Yeah, I'd just be right about that. Like I said, I don't feel like confidence was the issue as far as to why they took so long to enter in, but perhaps they did almost outplay themselves a little bit there too, and then felt rushed as well, or as you said, maybe just that overconfidence, which you usually are correctly confident. It's a 4v2. But perhaps now slap back to reality. New Bern A is taking a round here. Doesn't guarantee their success in the second round of the second half.
One enemy remaining.
Usually bodes very well, and there you have it. Kin and Women Scare Me getting the majority of those picks, and it's just the Rays hippity-hopping away with the spike, trying to get some super mind games going. Kind of ran away, but then they kind of didn't. Now they're kind of going back. Now they're kind of running away. And now they're going to be seen at the timing. Yeah, okay, they're going to be seen no matter what, but now maybe they can just isolate the duels and win 1v1s. That would be amazing. They got the Ghost in their hands, so decent at long range, I suppose, but now super injured. And Kin actually had a Sheriff, so that's even better at long range. And they will grab the 3K for that round and successfully get that second of the second half.
Let's leave whatever
So
happens
9-5,
to the
it feels
past.
more manageable, but now it is time for Cyber Academy to really say something here for the third round.
Well, yeah, now they can actually buy. Well, actually, maybe not even then, because I think they might have bought a little bit in the previous round, so it's kind of a broken buy. What should be their rifle round now is, again, a very broken buy. You got 3 rifles in hand, but then you got a Bucky and a Spectre, all with quarter shields but 1. And meanwhile, New Bern A, again, not the best buy, but Still, this should be a pretty even matchup as we get round number 15 underway.
Watch your eyes.
Main. Hungry
Spike
Hippo able
down
to find
B.
one with the Sheriff, and does have that heal as well. Should they choose to use it. Rest of the team's coming up to help out as well. Gonna actually push through as the expected Sky Smoke and is getting awfully aggressive. They only lost 5 health, but now they've lost all their health. Clark's finally able to take them out. 4v4 situation. It looks like there is perhaps a plan to rotate over, but I don't think that's actually necessary anymore. Where my dad, he's got a pick there and is out open up the site of B quite well. Grace is actually going on almost like a counter lurk right there, and Clark's was right to do so. Catches the KJ trying to get up from behind, which I don't think was going to be successful regardless of them being a 3v1, but still. And Cyber Academy probably feeling rightfully back in their place, gaining another round. They've been in the lead, but now they're going to ensure that New Bernay doesn't gain too much momentum.
Yeah, and that was a very clutch neuro theft coming from the Cypher there on Cyber Academy. They definitely needed that one. And again, they didn't want to let the comeback get too out of hand to where they start dropping in terms of economy, and I mean really dropping. So again, just coming in, using the ultimate when necessary. It's better to use it than have it burn a hole in your pocket. So again, great use of the ultimate there, and they still have a showstopper as well. As now we are headed into round 16.
Get out of here. Woman scare me. Taken down, but after finding one, little wall to, oh man, it's slow on the ground as well. Phoenix ult has popped, and they're actually found a kill with that one too, so they've been trading constantly, and then Hungry Hippo accidentally runs into the face of a gun, and is found out on their origin point as well, where my dad is doing some wonderful work here. Really helping the team out. Now it's a 3v2 as the plant is coming in on the A site. And they know exactly, I suppose, where everyone's coming in. They don't actually. I say that as if it's a Cypher ult. It's not, but it's just good predictions right there, leading to a 3v1.
And you know what, another thing is that the neural theft is such a great ult because it doesn't take too much to obtain it. I want to say it's about maybe a 6 if my memory serves me correctly. But with that being said, you can see only one player left alive. It's going to be Lucid Lunar up in heaven as the spike is now just pretty much far gone, and it will be Where My Dad 45 to find a final elimination and a 4K in the round going the way of Cyber Academy.
22-7. Where My Dad, you know, not hardcore carrying the team, but absolutely a super active presence. And what's kind of amazing about that too is that it's as a Cypher, right? So they're getting the kills, they're getting the duels, but they're also getting all the information for their team as well. So you can kind of be the all-rounded agent that maybe you aren't like supposed to be, I suppose, but definitely popping off on Cypher in particular. A little bit of a timeout. Things are getting a little dicey. We're heading close to match point anyway. And I mean, there's a little bit more to talk about when we swap the halves at the very least, but it does still seem like this is going to end perhaps a little one-sidedly.
Yeah, and you know what? We got to see some Phoenix gameplay, and you said yourself that one of your first mains was the Phoenix. Quickly, I got to ask you, when Phoenix heals from the fire, is it only their own fire, or is it all fire?
Oh my gosh. You know, I never really thought about that, but I'm pretty sure it's their only one.
I think it is too. I'm not entirely sure. Again, because I don't really play Phoenix too often. I mean, I have seen a lot of Phoenix gameplay, but I never actually really paid attention to if they take damage from other people's fire or not. I would hope they do.
Yeah, the thing is that even when you see it, it's kind of still the unique pick, I would say. It's definitely come in more on some maps and some strategies, so that's nice. But then, you know, when you see a Phoenix, yes, no. Do you see both teams with Phoenix? Yes, no. And I feel like that is the situation doesn't happen too often. And I also don't feel like it's a very friendly like ladder player, so it's probably better I don't play him. But see, you just don't see it, so I can't really think about it. But anyway, moving on, 4v3 quickly in here. As Cyber Academy now dangerously close to completing this best of one. They have the man advantage and are actually even on the chase. Where My Dad probably bursting with confidence at this point. However, maybe that was misplaced. Actually with the Sheriff's able to get the quick kill, and it's 3v3. Some hope yet still for New Bernay, who also has a res. This would be the round to use it, but because of 3v2 to kind of ensure victory, maybe it might be worth it. Let's see what they decide.
Yeah, this is an eco round right now for Newburn, so again, it's going to be pretty risky if they do decide to drop the ult. But with that being said, I mean, I'm with the Vandal in hand, able to find one, now two. Don't think they're even gonna need to come through with the ult as that ice wall goes out, and now out comes the defuse. Cyborg Tiger is gonna have to come away with a clutch play, but they're not gonna have time. That defuse comes in, and that's going to be a major thrifty round for Newburn.
Yeah, unfortunately not able to, you know, I mean, there might be some prediction possible if you had someone shouting in your ear, you know, like, well, that's what they're gonna do, that's what they're gonna do. But in the heat of the moment, nobody get a better position to try and tackle that setup. And also this against those few particular agents, I suppose it is just difficult to get the surprise on them, I guess. So a little difficult there for Cyber Academy, but they are not the ones that really need to sweat those types of rounds. Newburn A might have 6 on the board, but that's still a far cry from the double digits. You have the opponents being Cyber Academy seemingly in their prime. You lose one immediately, but at least able to trade it back pretty quickly after that. Just all the action in B main.
Scout destroyed.
Woman Scare Me getting a util kill too there.
Here.
Cyber Academy down. Still, they got their ultimate on their Bryn. They thought they could find a good place to use it, but getting that scout is what's difficult about it. Looks like just a molly to hold off any chasers. As Cyber Academy looks towards mid and onto A. IVE is waiting for them to try and enter into tree, which is exactly the way they're going. They're not hold on to the trigger discipline, but maybe they don't really have to. I would say 2 is still very much worth it there. Final cleanup as well. Newburn A. They're showing a little bit of a new momentum, new tempo. They're coming in, they're doing well, and they might be able to get to their own double digits if they continue in such a fashion.
Absolutely. Not only that, but they have hurt the side of Cyber Academy in the pocket, in the economy, at least a little bit. You can see there that they're coming away with some less than favorable buys. There is one full buy, and that's going to be coming from K-Torx, or Clorx, apologies, that was able to come through with the Vandal in a full shield. Now we have another one from Cyborg, who has enough to buy one of their teammates, and I'm surprised they aren't. But still, they have enough to barely get by this round just by the skin of their teeth. As now you can see it will be around 1900.
I've probably doesn't want to be the one that
I've got your
first
trail.
Face checks. I think now with the Seekers coming out, it's evident that it's going to be an A site hit. So, I mean, they could play aggressively, but they have that res, is what I'm thinking. So waiting for the rest of the team to come up here and help out, and then someone checking mid to see if there is going to be a rotate. It's a long rotate all the way back to the attacker's side. So the absence of noise, a little scout there as well from the Skydog, I believe, is going to determine that there's just one waiting there. Just where my dad. And the rest of the team has rotated completely over to B, in which only that KJ on the backside is actually even taking a look here. We'll find a relatively free entry onto the site and probably get that plant. Newburn A gonna have to come in with a retake.
And this is a free plant. That was a great rotate, though. And, you know, we have already seen this earlier on in our previous matchups, you know, that quick rotate, you know, because you can't hesitate. You've got to commit to it if you're going to try and be successful on it. Meanwhile, we have plenty of trades being made, and it's Hungry Hippo leading the way on that Phoenix. And their life was literally saved by Kin just now. 4v2 in the post plant. Easy cleanup. Newburn come away with a retake in their 8th round win here on Ascent.
It was probably a director's dream right there. The cinematic feel of being in the process of using your utility, but you got your guy covering your 6, you know, so they cover you while you do it. That was some good teamwork right there. Newburn A also kind of overpower at the end regardless. We had a nice rotate indeed. A little surprised that where my dad was actually the one that was left behind. It's because they have been a bit of a star player, but I guess they were hoping to find a few more people chasing after and catching up to them and gunning them down. But everything happened on the site, and it happened in favor of Newburn A. You continue to creep closer to getting to a tied score. Dare I say it? We might get another overtime, another best of one, something we had in the first match of the day, which I highly suggest you go watch. It was actually really, really good Valorant. And this one is starting to match that one, but not quite there yet.
Well, here we go, well and underway into the next round, and you can see the spike is going to be going towards A this time. And where my dad able to find an early pick by Tree. And they're going to get the early pick, and they're going to go full rotate. Wow, what a play.
it's unexpected.
There.
And where my dad, again, hoping to catch some of the laggers, perhaps, the ones coming through tree. That's not currently what's happening. So we'll be joining up the rest of the crew later on, similar to the last round. But this time, Cyber Academy not able to wasn't
One
able
enemy remaining
to get that done. Jeez Louise. And it looks like
been
this
a
time
long
they
day.
will be able to get it done. Sometimes it happens, but
Match
seriously,
point.
we have Cyber Academy finally getting it done. Finally getting it done. And that will be now match points. Newburn A, gotta be sweating.
And you know what? Again, you know, we talk about Where My Dad on the Cypher, and you know, you're right. They're not hard carrying, but at the same time, it can't be ignored that they are dominantly the top frag of not only their team, but the entire lobby. I mean, they are performing beyond expectations at this point. I mean, not only do they have the 26 eliminations, but they only have 10 deaths to their name, as well as 6 assists. And this is all coming from a Cypher. You know, not only are they a Sentinel, but they're a Sentinel that many would consider not even in the meta.
Certainly, the argument could be made, but they're clearly very comfortable on it. But not only that, I think their mechanics are going to show through with that type of KDA on an agent. You know, just a lot of it's going to be knowing the right positions, the right angles, and having the ability to click on heads. Classic situation here in the tac shooter. Still going to be able to do that pretty freaking well. Once again, Where My Dad kind of off by their lonesome. They've been kind of left behind in some of these previous rounds almost, but now they're the ones that are kind of leading this little ninja charge, I suppose, trying to continue sneaking up onto the defender side of the map. Meanwhile, their team making noise at A, but once again, rotating over to B. It worked last time, and it could be their key to victory here. Zodiac also takes down another of New Brunei. Means the 5v3 situation. I gotta say that the Sage res has got to come through, but I guess they're nowhere near any of the bodies safely, so unfortunately if not, they do find the first kill, but unfortunately they didn't realize that someone else was there, and that'll be it. Cyber Academy with the 13-8 victory. Started to slip a little bit towards the latter half of that game, but ended up bringing it through. And we're a very reflective, I think, score of the situation of that best of one. Cyber Academy, just the better players here today.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the way they played on Ascent. And again, I love having that Cypher there. And you hardly ever see a Cypher on Ascent. More often than not, it's going to be that KJ. But the way that Where My Dad played the Cypher, not only were they playing a fantastic Cypher, but of course they were hitting their headshots. At the same time, though, I kind of felt like they were almost in an IGL role, which they might not be the IGL of that team, but it did give me that vibe. Because again, Cypher was getting so much intel, and they were playing, you know, again, as one of those lurkers throughout the map, and were gaining intel as to say, hey, mid is open, mid is free, you can come mid. And they were just relaying that information to their teammates, and that's when you've seen the full swing rotate, the really speedy rotations. It was coming off of the calls from Where My Dad, coming off of the calls from that Cypher, who used that information to make the play calls on what site to hit and when to hit it. So again, they might not be the IGL, I don't know, but it did seem as though they were fulfilling that role on that matchup, and I gotta say, it went pretty well because they had a fantastic game, and clearly they are going to be taking home the dub.
I don't know if they're IGL, but for me, they would definitely be MVP of that match. Definitely some gratitude from the other team members, but they also were there to pick up anytime Where My Dad was letting a little bit loose too much, you know, falling before their time had really come. And that's going to be it for our third best of one today. We are going to be sending it to the desk, couch, whatever you want to call it. So guys, take it away.
Yeah, nice old couch over here. I am joined by Reed the Sloth, everybody's fan favorite.
I honestly am not happy to be being forced against my will.
Man, what a match we were just able to watch. Their Cypher, insane. Captain Ahsoka kind of went over everything, you know. It seemed like all the shot calling came from Cypher, so, you know, Cyber did a great job.
Mm-hmm. Great plays.
So, Reed.
Oh, no.
He said, oh, no. He's scared.
I'm scared.
He's scared.
You scare me.
And we get the zoom in. Yes.
No.
Yes, Reed the Sloth, everybody. Reed, first time on stream.
Yep.
At least at VESL.
Well, first time on stream, because I'm always in the back doing B stream.
shout out to Reed. He is always in the back, usually producing our secondary stream over at VESL GH. We got some matches going on over there as well. You guys can go check that out for some more action. Yeah, shout out to our production team. Also, Zach in the background, Pizza Time. You know, that was a good match we got to be able to watch. We'll see what Cyber has to hold when we go into regionals and the bracket, if they get by in the bracket.
I mean, there's no buys this time. It's only 2 people moving on.
Yeah, that is true. Only 2 people move out of the group stage out of the 3. So they'll move on to brackets Thursday. They'll play Thursday and then Friday, and then they'll head over to our regional LAN event in January, which we're going to have a lot of talent from North Carolina showing up and showing out.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited for it.
Me too.
And then we have states not that long after that.
I'm more excited for states because I know there's a ton planned for it.
Insane. And even if you guys don't make it to states, you guys should still show up. It's going to be awesome. We got a lot of surprises in store for you guys. I think we're going to hop to a quick break and get y'all's next match loaded up and get all the players in. We'll see what the next match entails for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VESL fall season begins on October 9th. That is the Varsity Esports and STEM League, and it is North Carolina wide. Our partnerships with North Carolina's General Assembly and UNC Greensboro have allowed us to expand what has been working here in Mecklenburg and surrounding counties to all 100 counties across the entire state. We've been pushing hard over the last 2 months, and I am proud to report 132 schools have already signed up, spanning 40 districts, and over 800 students are already registered and onboarded to be in this fall season. On the esports front, it's a really exciting lineup. We've got 7 week-long tournaments statewide with different titles every single week. If you're a fan of Rocket League, or you practice Fortnite, or Call of Duty, or Madden, or Valorant, or Super Smash Bros, or Overwatch, whatever it is, there's a week dedicated to you. There's going to be 4 regional semifinals all around the state, all coming together in one massive state championship for esports and STEM. On the STEM side, it's even more exciting than the esports side because we will be rolling out to the entire state for the first time the VESLverse. This is the environment where you can learn across the entire environment of curriculum, compete head-to-head against other teams and other schools, and then ultimately earn badges, items on your resume, and even scholarships. So this season's main marquee challenge is around artificial intelligence. You're going to be in the VESLverse inside an immersive gamified environment. We're going to provide you the artificial intelligence model that you're in phase 1 going to design algorithms to train your own robot to defeat other schools' robots in a game of the floor is lava. This is going to be amped up a notch by the competition, live streamed on Twitch with professional commentary. Then in phase 2, you're going to be introduced to your own machine learning concepts that you're going to use to further enhance the robots you've been working with. And in this time, go head to head in a battle of Rocket League custom soccer with your AI trying to compete against others. Finally, that state finals is going to be streamed live to see who the inaugural statewide champions of varsity esports and STEM will be. There's resume building opportunity, learning technology, scholarship opportunities, and opportunities to even learn entrepreneurship and generate revenue. What's really exciting is when we head into that January timeframe, there's going to be 568 people hired from colleges and different parts of our region to be coaches for esports, coaches for STEM, production, casting, everything you can imagine. The opportunity just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But it doesn't stop there. We have and will have deployed 2 custom big rigs. The big rig is going to go all around where it converts into a fully functioning main stage esports arena. And then the Little Rig provides opportunities in these same environments for people to go and game at their schools in their regions. Those will be rolling out statewide. But I'm real excited in the connectivity to our collegiate league, exclusive to NC colleges and universities only, and they will be competing school to school, head to head, winning a full year scholarship as we walk towards the end of this mission. Ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't excited right now for the Fall League of VESL, you should be.
Palisades, they're trying to go all the way to #1, so it's going to be a cat and dog matchup.
We're going to win today. We're going to win this game. We're going to win the next game. It's done.
Just around some of these angles. You plan for backside. You think they're coming through garage. Where are they going to be coming from? Off of the double box. They're actually going to bring the rolling thunder. And they drop it down. Devastating. Trying to be able to stick into it. They actually missed the stuff. They're going to use the Z-dodge down air and net for the opposite end. They're looking to continue to juggle them upwards. The upward smash and they're gone. Coming all the way back from down 3-1. They get the job done.
We love close games, but 4-4. Oh, it was already! They rise to the top. The cream rises to the top. They are here.
Download our app today, and you can start your path towards learning about financial literacy.
Second time to the box, Nutella. The kill isn't there. They're looking for the opposite sidewalk. There it's gone. And JT Williams, a great push by South Mex.
Now that was
Flamethrower will miss. He's gonna be able to jump, drag them down, force them, get a grab, throw them forward, and this is gonna be continual push into the box. They get the smash. Oh, they come back from 3-1, get 1-0, and that'll be set 2 for Myers Park.
Adding money to that goal to say that thing completed. Anywho, moral of the story, you can do anything that ChatGPT can do. It's just that ChatGPT is automated.
Your 2023 champion for app development, the Garinger Wildcats.
back down he goes. Needs to be with Nick there in support. Nobody back again. Olympic on 4-0. It's the Rocket League Finals about to heat up. Done in 4-1. The count here down under 5 seconds. Olympic, your CMS Varsity Esports and STEM League Rocket League champion. They did it. Look at their faces, happy as could be. As Vigo Mari now trying to beat it, little back to the edge. He now has positional advantage. And see you later. That's game here. As it's Nev off the edge of the stage. And you see the reactions now. What a finish. Stronger on the defensive side, still outnumbered. Or are they? Backside, and he wants to make an even sacrifice. Popping off the 3K. Has made it a 2-1 advantage. It has Empress in hand if they want it. They don't need it.
Oh, it's a rough position. Do we love Fortnite? Do they love themselves just enough? They are cornered, and they're up in heaven, and that's where they're gonna stay. There's your Butler Bulldogs. The comeback is true and done. Pumas, they came so close.
The capability that Barris does. He finds the back of the net so often. He's got Lego across. Good pass. Up play. Find his way in. Challenging for sure. Saw Crow. Saw was trying to get a bump on Crow, and it didn't matter.
Supra, they're going to try and be mechanical flip reset. They actually just make it out. Supra does.
He's already got the ball. Let's see what he can do with it. He's going to lead this one in. He puts it in. We'll try the ceiling shot and has it. What a shot from a tap.
This one's still up 0 seconds. Nice. It goes.
Well, to get a challenge or elsewhere. Peyton showing off his skill.
Hold out your hand, let me feel you as
It's time. This one to the top of the box and a shot in. Looking a good pass across Vincent in legend. There it is.
We are back, joined here with Charlie, a special guest appearance since he was actually not here all night.
As if. I was on the stream all last week, but yeah, I heard we had some fantastic Valorant action. Tell me about it, Risk.
The first game we went into overtime.
Oh, excellent.
AKJT.
Good. Started off 2 classic rivals. Started off with a great match. That's what you expect. And I love the student created content at the beginning of that too from the JT team.
It was awesome. It was awesome to see them, getting some content out there and trying to bring some heat to the other team and get them nervous.
Now, did they end up winning? That's the question.
No, they did not. It was OT. I believe it was 16-14.
26-24. No, sorry. 16-14. You're right. I had
Producer
10.
math is Producer Zach is great at not math, but great at producing things.
Yeah, great at producing.
I'm good at speaking.
Adding things up, apparently not. But yeah, that first match was amazing. Second match, young Washington team. Let's just say that. Rough go of it. Seems like new players. A lot of things they got to learn and work on, but it was a quick 13-0 by Research Triangle.
Well, you got it. Listen, this season is about starting out your teams. Next season, you've got all off season to practice. This was the beginning year. We know there's a lot of teams out there. Washington High, which do you know where Washington High is?
Believe it's coastal.
Yeah, man, that's
right?
way out there by the ocean. And they're new to this, but I respect, love those guys out there. So if there's anyone from Washington High, shout out to you guys. Keep practicing. Get in there.
It's just experience, man. They just play the game some.
Yep.
Get used to it. They get coaches in the next season that will help improve your guys' gameplay, and hopefully we can get you guys some scholarships down the road.
Yep, that's always great too. I see that Cyber took a victory over West Craven. Cyber's always a deadly team. They've got Cyber in the name, so that's always a little bit scary.
Also over on the B stream,
VESL 2.
Yeah, VESL 2. Philip O'Berry did have their own hype video to start it out, but sadly,
they didn't.
One of their players had an issue with the game. They had a 4v5, and it went the way of JT Williams.
That happens.
So
I also see that Collaborative College of Tech. This is their debut as well. So the cool thing about VESL is that this is for the entire state of North Carolina, and we have new high schools joining all the time. If anybody watches the stream or the VOD, and you're like, wait, that's me. I go to high school in North Carolina. My school doesn't have a team yet. First of all, check, because your school might have a team. Sometimes we hear about that as well. But if your school doesn't have a team, they can still join up. Even, well, I guess it's a little late now, but they can join up for the spring season. We're still adding teams all the time. I guess if they got a Call of Duty team for next week, we take them.
Yeah, we can put you
I'm
in.
the commissioner.
Come on.
I just decided right now. We'll take them. But anyway,
lots in plan for the spring season
Yeah.
too. A lot of things up and coming, and a lot of exciting things going on.
Those virtual kids took out College of Early Engineering as well, or SEEK.
Yeah.
So virtual. That's a team that's come a long way since the CMS season last year in the spring. I saw Enloe went 1-1. Sun Valley. Sun Valley continues to pretty much just dominate in all shooter games that they've showed up in.
Yeah, it seems like a recurring thing.
Yeah. So Sun Valley, a team to watch. They're new to the league as well. Good job by them. Holly Springs looks like they picked up a couple of wins, or Holly Springs A did. Research Triangle, kind of 1-1. They had that one win over, like you mentioned, Washington. Cool stuff. Well, I'm really glad. Had another great time tonight. Producer Zach, just on the beats as usual, running the show.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a lot more to add onto our streams down the road.
Bowser,
so.
just another good day's work for Bowser. Thank you guys for watching. Is there anything else we need to talk about, Risk?
No.
Bowser with the shout
I think
out.
we're just kind of waiting on
this
our
guy.
next,
He's him.
I think we're just kind of waiting on for our last match of the night.
Oh, okay.
To start up. I know we were just waiting on a few players to join in. Yeah, look at the Bowser cam.
Who is
man.
Yeah, why watch us when you can watch Bowser? Can we figure out how to get him to shoot fire? Oh, we're hearing off camera. That's one of the spikes. Never ask the executives to do anything on stream. Oh, and then as soon as
There
I
we
say that, the
go.
first one I try. I guess that's why I'm in charge. Who's playing in this match, Risk?
Zach, can we get a little bit of a?
It'll be STEM
reveal?
Early College versus Kearns Academy.
STEM Early College repping NCA&T and the Foothills Conference against. I'm sorry, what was the other one?
Kearns Academy.
I got distracted when I got excited about STEM
Kearns
Early
actually had one of their players. Something went wrong with their monitor. It looked like something happened to this monitor. But they are down a man. But I did see that they were up in their 4v5 earlier on today. So
Dang.
Kearns coming
Well,
out
listen,
and
you know,
trying to
you guys
compete.
know I got much love for both of those. You got the Aggies, or soon-to-be Aggies from STEM A&T, and then Kearns always reps. They also have a really good vibe in their school chat. You guys might not know, but I see everything. So, you know, I'm in all the chats. So I'm just lurking, just making sure everybody's keeping it on the up and up. And yeah, I like the vibe over in Kearns.
Yeah. In the next few weeks, I know after next week we have our COD tournament going on. Bowser back at it. We're going to have some things planned for all of you guys during the holiday seasons. Some games, some tournaments maybe. Some just casual playing with... You never know who we might bring into the server.
Yeah, that's a nice tease. And also, I mean, we're doing a lot more casual gaming just in general in the VESL gaming community. Look for more and more of that. We got Jackbox. We've got a little birdie told me the Minecraft server is going to be up pretty soon.
It's going to be back up and running?
Yeah, well, I might be doing that to put some pressure on the poor Minecraft team over there to get it going. And then some of the other games too. Maybe some Apex. I know we've talked about some R6. I don't know how many R6 people there are out there anymore.
I think there's a lot of kids that want to play some R6.
Well, we should get some casuals going on that. We obviously, I mean, the thing is, even though we're a really huge league, I mean, we're one of the biggest high school leagues out there, even we can't do a tournament in every single game, you know? But what we are going to do is we're going to do casuals and try to get some reoccurring gaming because we know there's some hardcore R6 heads out there.
Maybe we can bring in some R6 pros. You never know who has contacts with some R6
I think
guys.
between the two of us on the couch, we know who has contacts.
Oh yeah.
But it's Bowser actually. Bowser has all the
Bowser,
contacts,
he has
so-
all the R6
Although
contacts.
he's out of steam, unfortunately, or smoke, I guess would be what
He
comes from it.
wants to take a nap, man.
Yeah, as do I. But you know, I'm here. I'm here for the team.
Yeah.
We could talk.
Are we good to go?
We could go to break, or we could talk
go to
about
break.
the fantastic
Actually-
ribs that I
actually-
made for you this weekend.
Oh,
Risk.
yeah. Some wood-fired
Got the
ribs. They were
smoker out.
actually pretty good.
And everyone's like, "Oh no, a boomer talking about his grill." For more fire, see what I did that content. Tune into my personal stream where I talk about my smoker.
Oh, is that a thing that's coming? The VESL cooking channel.
Voice of the commish. Literally 0 subscribers. My mom doesn't even subscribe.
Oof. No support out here.
Yeah, that's why I just channel it all into VESL. But yeah, I guess we'll go to a break as we're still waiting for the teams to get into the lobby. You know, Risk and I can only vamp for so long, but appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
That's in when you have that capability that Barris does. He finds the back of the net so often. He's got Lego across. Good pass. Up play. Find his way in. Challenging for sure. Sob trying to get around Crow. Sob was trying to get a bump on Crow, and it didn't matter.
Supra, they're gonna
try and be mechanical flip reset. They actually just fake it out. Supra does.
He's already got the ball. Let's see what he can do with it. I think he's gonna lead this one in. He does. Puts it in. We'll try the ceiling shot and has it. What a shot from Adapt.
This one's still up 0 seconds. Nice.
Whether it's to get a challenge or elsewhere, Peyton showing up his skill.
Hold out your hand, let me feel you as a
It's time. This one to the top of the box and a shot in. King could have passed across again in legend. There it is. Fortnite's able to push it over and Ginger's ready. He'll take a shot and it's in. Wow, Olympic. In fact, they miss, and they get one on the board. Bro, bronze it.
Down the side could punish. He has a chance at 0, and he gets it. Oh no! With another big bang, there's no one defensively set up for the dot. An opportunity. Gotta watch out. 0 looking to crush it, and they will find it. Put them on ice.
Look at him. Oh my goodness. Get it. Has done it. Oh my. From the ceiling is Creeper and he's got one. We're seeing a possible another one. And they cross goal. It's an in his own goal. He's going to keep going. But look what just happened. They can do things like this. As far as they post, Fortnite couldn't find it. Ginger Ace, the follow-up shot is perfectly placed. To the far side, Olympic back with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VESL fall season begins on October 9th. That is the Varsity Esports and STEM League, and it is North Carolina wide. Our partnerships with North Carolina's General Assembly and UNC Greensboro have allowed us to expand what has been working here in Mecklenburg and surrounding counties to all 100 counties across the entire state. We've been pushing hard over the last 2 months, and I am proud to report 132 schools have already signed up, spanning 40 districts, and over 800 students are already registered and onboarded to be in this fall season. On the esports front, it's a really exciting lineup. We've got 7 week-long tournaments statewide with different titles every single week. If you're a fan of Rocket League, or you practice Fortnite, or Call of Duty, or Madden, or Valorant, or Super Smash Bros, or Overwatch, whatever it is, there's a week dedicated to you. There's going to be 4 regional semifinals all around the state, all coming together in one massive state championship for esports and STEM. On the STEM side, it's even more exciting than the esports side because we will be rolling out to the entire state for the first time the VESLverse. This is the environment where you can learn across the entire environment of curriculum, compete head-to-head against other teams and other schools, and then ultimately earn badges, items on your resume, and even scholarships. So this season's main marquee challenge is around artificial intelligence. You're gonna be in the VESLverse inside an immersive gamified environment. We're gonna provide you the artificial intelligence model that you're in phase 1 going to design algorithms to train your own robot to defeat other schools' robots in a game of the floor is lava. This is gonna be amped up a notch by the competition, live streamed on Twitch with professional commentary. Then in phase 2, you're gonna be introduced to your own machine learning concepts that you're gonna use to further enhance the robots you've been working with. And in this time, go head to head in a battle of Rocket League custom soccer with your AI trying to compete against others. Finally, that state finals is gonna be streamed live to see who the inaugural statewide champions of varsity esports and STEM will be. There's resume building opportunity, learning technology, scholarship opportunities, and opportunities to even learn entrepreneurship and generate revenue. What's really exciting is when we head into that January timeframe, there's going to be 568 people hired from colleges and different parts of our region to be coaches for esports, coaches for STEM, production, casting, everything you can imagine. The opportunity just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But it doesn't stop there. We have and will have deployed 2 custom big rigs.
Welcome back, everyone. We are getting into our last best of one of the night for the Valorant Regionals qualifiers. VESL. We had JT Williams lose out in a very close match versus Ardrey Kell. And we had Washington lose out versus Research Triangle. Newburn Team A just lost out to Cyber Academy. If you were here just 20 minutes ago, you've seen the finale of that. And now we get into STEM Early College versus Kearns Academy. All of these teams playing best of ones for the next few days to determine who makes it into the playoffs, and then so on and so forth to get the big bucks and the big tournament. So very excited to get back into Valorant. Feel like we were waiting there for a little bit, so thanks for waiting with us, guys. But let us get into, hey, Ascent once again.
Yep, sent for the 3rd time today. You'll love it. But also what you love to see is Scotty Gotti Games going to be hovering that ISO pick. That is going to be interesting for Kearns Academy. Meanwhile, you're looking at STEM Early College, and it looks more in line with what we expect, except for maybe a double duelist comp with a Jet and a Phoenix in tow. But now the ISO from Scotty Gotti looks as though they are going to pick a Fade, possibly. The composition coming from STEM Early College, not too shabby. Again, surprised that they're not going with the double initiator comp. Well, actually, at the same time, Phoenix is kind of like a pseudo duelist, so they can double as an initiator, and it looks like Kearns Academy is going to go with that Phoenix as well, but they are going to stick with a double initiator comp of both Sky and Fade. So pretty interesting compositions, to say the least.
Yeah, from both sides, once again, maybe a little more standard here from the side of STEM Early College. But as we talked in previous matches, a lot of it can be also comfort picks. Really cannot be underestimated when we're not talking about the finals of the VCT Championship, something like that. And certainly Ascent being the map chosen often is also a bit comfortable for all these players. Although I was glad to see Lotus at the very least. But no, we're back onto Ascent, and we are back in, hopefully, another close game of Valorant. STEM Early College will be starting off on the attacking side, and Kearns Academy will be trying to defend.
And it's going to be interesting to see on how this one concludes. I mean, we've had some crazy games here on Ascent already. So, I mean, there's only so many outcomes left to see. I mean, we've gotten to see a map on Ascent that ended up going to like 30 some odd rounds. And then, you know, we had another one that was just a constant tug of war back and forth, and eventually did get decided. Meanwhile, we're finally underway here in the pistol round, and it's going to be Midnight Dodge to start things off.
Good thing they were warmed up. They had to skedaddle, and certainly they did, able to pick one off before finally going down. But I mean, that could have been way worse. They could have been overwhelmed from the get-go. At the very least, able to take one down with them and give a little bit more pressure to the spike plan, I suppose, but did get planted. Most of the members of Kearns Academy coming in from Heaven. One coming in from Tree as well, getting a little bit of a crossfire going on. Somewhat effective, but the trades keep on coming, and it is STEM Early College that is having some trouble. They can play on the spike to a certain degree. Paranoia actually through there, and it was effective, but unfortunately not able to win that last 1v1 duel against Scotty Gotti Games. Love it. And it will be Kearns Academy to win the first round, but a close round indeed.
That it was, and you know what? Again, that's the pistol round there. So, what do we expect? Kearns going to be able to get some buying power going into round number 2. Should do them a little bit of favor here. But again, you know, I'm really liking the Viper pick, of course. Very interesting to see that smoke coming out as their only smoke. Normally, when you see Viper come out, it's for a double smoke composition, but they're going to rely on the Viper just for that one. Meanwhile, the Omen on the side of STEM Early College is pretty much what you expect as the meta controller here on Ascent. As now we get ready to head into round number 2. And remember, the power of the purse is going to be going the way of Kern's Academy here.
He's got an orb picked up here. They might actually commit onto the B side as well. I think they might be having some trouble, though. The Viper orb comes through. The KJ utility's there. They are going to push the issue and survive, at least through the decay, but not survive for very much longer, unfortunately. Well, maybe still doable 3v3, actually. STEM Early College getting the plant once again. Wasn't able to top it off the actual win in the last round, but it got very, very close. And it still is 2v2. Attackers locked up in Boathouse. Don't know if Kern's Academy is totally aware of. Now they should be, seeing the direction of the utility. Well, I guess they only knew Breach. I don't know if Curse is back there as well. I think it just got sight on it. The spike is constantly ticking down here. Defenders are going to have to make a move pretty soon. The firewall will be coming up. I'll try to level the curve there, but the utility actually kind of took a little bit of that time. That could have gone into the duel. Now it's a 1v2. Fulldeck's going to have to hope that they don't. Jeez Louise, I was going to say it. The opponents mess up a little bit. They actually could have taken that, but ran out of bullets. Kind of let the spray get wild, and unfortunately, they did have the attackers able to play around that spike time. So, all right. 1-1. That's the first time today that the first round win didn't go right into the second round for the guys who won the pistol.
Yeah, absolutely true. And you know what? It's actually really interesting because, you know, had the Phoenix and the Viper just had their utility, they would have been able to double molly the Boatyard. And honestly, I think they would have won had they had that. But, you know, they didn't purchase the equipment or they used it a little bit too early. Either way, you know, some mollies would have been perfect in that scenario. But, oh, well, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Now we're heading into round number 3. And the advantage should be going away of STEM's Early College here. But we will see how this one plays out.
I do wonder if they had won that particular 1v2 and a little bit faster. Would they have enough time to defuse the spike? They might have. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, though. That's what you're saying. Starting things off now with approach towards A. Not everyone is there, but the spike is. A little bit more of a test. Actually trying to get some picks, which is successful, while the rest of the attacking team joins up on in. That spike will get planted with all 5 members on the board for STEM Early College. There's now Kern's Academy down to just 3. Have to take down all of these angles. And unfortunately, it's not going super well for them. Curse takes down 2 more, leaving just the lone Fade to get exit picks, I guess. It seems to be the only thing they can really do.
I mean, do they even have a rifle in hand? I mean, they got, you know, they got a Bucky. Let's see if they can get nutty with the Bucky. It could happen. Headshot is there. It connects. That's 1 exit frag, and now they have a Vandal. Honestly, save the Vandal.
Yeah.
You got the Vandal. Run away. Run away. Gotta go. But doesn't matter. They are going to, in fact, take the Vandal, cut their losses, and now rotate away. Gotta be careful, though, that they don't get headhunted, as the spike will be detonating and giving STEM Early College their second round win.
Yeah, but very, you know, it became a little bit more complicated, I should say. I wouldn't say that was very close because it ended up with a 4v1, but I was thinking more that we did have the kind of wise decision right there. Fortunate pick with the Bucky and picking up the Vandal and just skedaddling. That is the way to do it, and shows certainly some long plan coming into effect, which is necessary in the ebb and flow of Valorant. Makes me want to believe another overtime. Maybe we can get some bookend best of ones here. We started with multiple overtime. Perhaps we'll end with multiple overtimes on Ascent. Fade was consistently over on the other side, so kind of swapping things around a little bit on the defense, but the attack has also mixed things up, all stacking through tree, which I don't believe Kern's Academy is expecting. They were looking all the wrong directions. Now, actually knowing where everyone's coming in from, finally got the sounds. Unfortunately, the site is already contaminated with all of that red. It's like they kind of did a trick on the defenders, and on the defenders, I mean, you're going to have to retake. I guess that was going to happen anyway, but very easy approach there from STEM Early College. Now to actually stick the landing as they lose 1. That is the question. Can they actually get the happen once again or take down the rest of the other opposing team. Does not seem to be the case. So we have Omen left, and they are not able to pick up any more. Midnight Doge VA. Doing pretty darn well, helping their team get a flawless. They got an ult now for the next round should they need it, and everything is tied up 2-2.
That is the definition of a flawless retake. That is how you retake a set. That is how it is done, and it was very successful. And now they are striking back against STEM Early College, and finally we get to the round where it will be the true Valorant round. As you can see, it's going to be a full buy from both sides nearly, but Curse, instead of buying up, is going to settle for the Blade Storm, hopefully to get an early pick and pick up a Vandal from somebody else.
Knives are out. One more ults to use for STEM Early College as well. So we have a little bit of a hunt. Midnight Doge feeling quite confident because they're not doing this with their ultimate. This is actually their life on the line, and they are apparently betting well today. They take down one, wanted to kind of get that second one, but I would actually say the fact that they live is also very much acceptable. So that guarantees the chance for them to either get another pick by, again, their actual life or to actually use their ultimate. So STEM Early College, maybe having to reconfigure things here. Losing one so early on. They're going to take a slow rotate all the way back to their attacking side. Like the Jet's still trying to find someone just poking their head out, but hasn't been able to do so yet.
Yep, slowly but surely moving along here, but I mean, they can't really afford to take too much time. As you can see, it is going to be a B push. Spike heading towards B, but they have all that KJ utility there waiting for them. Not to mention the Phoenix as well, that is just looking down main. As running back has been activated, Vacant is going to be pushing through all the utility, trying to find as much information as possible, and it's not going to do them any good. The rotation from Kern's Academy in Market was too good. They clean wipe the entire team of STEM Early College, and there you have it, another beautiful rotation coming from Kern's Academy.
Was it actually his ults? And I just am honestly having a little bit difficulty seeing the ult on Phoenix under the green. Because I know the attackers ulted as well. Yeah, it was their ult. Okay.
That was the running back.
You know, I meant the I knew the attackers did it at the end there, but in the beginning I thought that was just the life of Midnight Doge, but they actually did use it. It's definitely one of the quickest building ults at only 6. So you do want to use it as often as possible. I thought they were actually holding on to it, so that was my bad. But yeah, they'll probably get that soon enough. They've really been doing quite well. But anyway, Kern's Academy leading now with a point ahead. Midnight Doge postured, waiting for someone not to check wine.
Once again, you can see this. It is going to be a slow push. They're trying to keep things quiet, but Midnight Doge is just reading this like a pop-out book, waiting to see the barrel of any weapon here. Look, they're getting ready to push Archway. I don't even know if they're going to check wine. Midnight Doge. Oh my goodness. Valorant timing at its finest right here. I mean, really. Finally, the push does go.
Oh,
Look at the discipline. Look at the discipline from Midnight Doge.
Oh, actually, that might be a little bit too much discipline. I don't know. I don't know. Unfortunately, not quite getting the perfect situation, but still finding one looking the wrong direction. And of course, still has the crossfire. And actually, it took them a long time to even look backwards because everyone had collapsed in anyway. So while they weren't able to find the slow walking 3 all lined up together, which would have been the best thing ever, their positioning does still work out very, very well. And even though they were taken down, that obviously supported their team defensively. And Kern's Academy will get 4th after this defuse.
Push a button, save the day.
Yeah, again, I think the long game coming from that Phoenix was the right call. I mean, you're right. They weren't able to get the three eliminations in succession, but they did come through with a massive flank and really was able to upheave the positioning of STEM Early College on towards the A side just by getting those 2 back-to-back limbs, and then eventually their team was ready to finish on the 3rd. So again, great positioning, great trigger discipline coming from Midnight Doge, who is currently the top frag for Kern's Academy, as we get ready now to head into round 7.
Yeah, I believe they're highest ranks in the lobby. Our producer, they are showing their stuff. But that's also a play that you get once, and no one else should get it again, even after you swap. Just because you know, it's a bit cheesy, basically, hiding out in wine, hoping that no one checks at any point. Doesn't happen once it's already happened. Someone's always going to be checking that.
You
Although
know,
there is
I
something to
don't
be said about...
know. Well, you know what they say, wine pairs well with cheese.
That is a good one. I wasn't even thinking about that, but that is an excellent one. I was going to say there's something to be said about, you know, if the adrenaline gets really high, we do make some silly mistakes. All of us do, but it seems like STEM early college fixing some mistakes from the earlier rounds. Looking good for this one. Finally losing their own member, but taking down 2. They have opened up an opportunity. No! Midnight Doge. More like Ninja Doge. This guy just picks a corner and sticks it and is like, you won't check. And he's right. He's absolutely right. And now STEM early college is looking at another round loss.
Yeah, Midnight Doge's KD is going to the moon. To the moon, baby, for Midnight Doge, as they find the final elimination as well, and will end that round with a 4K all day. Midnight Doge definitely having themselves a game so far here on Ascent, as Kearns Academy will now enjoy a pretty comfortable 3-round lead.
I just hope it doesn't go the way of the Doge coin. Peek into the sudden terrible crash that I fortunately dodged. I dodged it. I didn't believe in the Doge. Thank goodness. Although, if I only sold when it was at its highest, that's how they get you. That's how gamblers become gamblers. Anyway, I don't think it will. I think that Doge is just looking like the best player on the team on the server, and the more that they can abuse these positions, the more they're going to do them. I mean, unless it's going to be a good lesson for STEM early college. Always check your corners after this map is done, perhaps in Kearns Academy's favor. Much slower going here.
You know what? This is a very interesting Viper wall, because it's not blocking Archway at all. It's actually just dividing up, you know, A main. And again, you know, it's making to where they actually have to step forward. They can't hold themselves back. And now they got some intel. They know that they're there. And up goes that Viper wall, as the push will be making its way through Arch.
I have to spend the time now to actually check that corner too. Like, it's definitely affecting them. Even though they weren't there. They were hidden in the other corner they had just abused. But regardless of having to do that extra check, we do have the plant. And a successful ability to try and set up for the defense of the retake. Oh, but we got a KJ ult coming through, which is going to complicate matters. How much room is there to actually avoid that? Not a lot. So that's why we have the gun battles going on through here. Anyone actually detained? One player detained. Things have gotten awfully screwy. Midnight Doge once again popping off that kill feed, but the defenders get the defuse during all of the action. Sometimes it does get a little too messy and you can lose track of the ultimate goal, I suppose. But that means that Kearns Academy now leads by 4.
And again, that was just a great play coming from the KJ ult. Well executed, perfectly placed. And they didn't even need to get all the eliminations. All they needed to do was stick the defuse. And that they did. And pros don't fake, and neither does Kearns Academy. They will now go up 4 rounds. Midnight Doge with 15 eliminations to their name. Should be dropping a 20 bomb before the half is even over, but we shall see. As once again, you do see STEM early college in an eco round, as now round number 9 has begun.
Martial action. Never hurt anyone. So far, not any finding a lot of openings. Just a slow go, very quietly in the tree, through the smoke of arches as well. It could be a bold play. Actually, a KJ turret there, so it wouldn't be particularly useful. And a very quiet play. I feel like we should be whispering here. They are waiting for someone to poke their head out, hoping that Kearns Academy perhaps gets a little overconfident. It's not necessarily what's happening, although we do have a little bit of the lurk. And now a bit of a reveal, too. Finally, some bullets coming on through. The scouts was, I would say, the most important thing. And Kearns Academy has taken what I thought was a defensive position. But even though they got a little bit alerted to that, it still ultimately went in favor of STEM early college. And huge favor of them as they finally get a flawless for their 3rd round on the board.
Well, there you go. I mean, if you're going to make a comeback, you might as well, you know, make yourself known. I mean, a flawless victory is definitely a good way to kind of break a streak. And, you know, they were able to break the winning streak with Kearns Academy pretty successfully. And I got to say, that was a very interesting nightfall that came out from the fade there of Kearns Academy right there at the end. I mean, it was the 1v5, and I guess they tried to make a big play, but unfortunately didn't go their way for Scotty Gotti Games. Unfortunately, when it came into that final fight there, they didn't have any backups. So, I mean, it was just a sheer numbers game. Now, heading into round number 10, and STEM Early College making a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah, the Midnight Doge is back on the scene, I suppose. Finally taken out, but taking down 2 with them. That leaves a 4v2 situation overall, actually. It's done Early College, not quite able to build off the momentum of the last round. It's soccer, just staying confident up in here and getting all of these picks. Finally taken down, but full fountain. Full fountain is the only one left over. Good use of the utility, takes out the Sky Dog. Might be able to get some 1v1s, but while they do find it, they do not win it. So it is going to be Kearns Academy with 7.
Yeah, and, you know, I got to give it to Fountain there, or Fountain, that, you know, they went out like a champion. You know, Full Fountain definitely went out and took some players with them, for sure. So, again, they did give a win to Kearns Academy, but it was an expensive win. They're going to have to rebuy 3 times, and they're going to be able to do so with some change left over. I mean, after, you know, being able to accrue a 4-round lead, you're going to have some money to retire on. But with that being said, now is going to be a good chance for STEM Early College to do some damage. As you see, the operator is now in play for STEM Early College.
Kearns Academy haven't been going down, you know, mid super hard. There's been some amount of lurking, but it doesn't have to be mid, I guess, to get the kill, does it? Give wins with the op, takes down kind of the MVP so far, so that is a really great first pick indeed. See if they can get anything more. Breach ult, you know, a bit of wasted, unfortunately, but I mean, gonna clear out that site for sure. And the plant will come through. 4 members for Kearns Academy still on the board. Couple of ults as well. The Vipers Pit, the Seekers, both could make a play here. The op maybe a little less effective, something that's a little bit more close quarters as well. Curse with a nice crossfire set up there with the teammates. It's going to give them 2 more, and it looks like this actually could be a done and dusted round. They get maybe a little too aggressive, however. Find that everyone is in heaven, but it's still 2 4. And the op is still in play, although misses that long-range battle. They're going to get so many more opportunities to do exactly that. Not able to bridge the gap between you and the operator. You're just setting yourself up for a bit of failure, unfortunately, but that's the only direction that we could get the defenders to come in from. They were pushed to the last men, and the last men couldn't quite do very much. So, STEM Early College going to get a 4th.
Yep, that they are. And this is going to be a really difficult finish here for Kearns Academy now, as they don't have a lot of money left to buy. They are going to be able to come through with a couple. Actually, they should be able to buy at least 1 more. There it is. All right, Scotty Gotti was almost going to have to go in with a full save here, but no, they're going to go with an Odin and no shields. Very interesting, but not surprising coming from the initiator. Again, they're going to be making a call here. Let's see if it pays off, as once again, you got Give Wins, who's going to be watching mid with that operator. They were able to do wonders with it in the previous round.
Yeah, again, a very important first pick. But not going to be falling for the mid sniper shot anyway. I do have the defenders correctly rotating back to defend some of A. I really want to see what this Odin can do on this particular site. So well known on B, obviously. That's going to have to be a retake by the looks of things. The defenders have pulled back so far, perhaps even planning, of course, for the retake. Now calling the rest of their team forward. A blind that can't be followed up on. Dog, it's going to get some more information, as it's soccer was also just trying to go off kind of contact right there. Unsuccessful in a 1v1. Again, a Seekers is available, and that's exactly what they are going to do. We also have Midnight Doge coming in, getting a pick right there on his Phoenix doppelganger. And the Seekers have just revealed that the attackers are so far pushed back. Perhaps we can have another wine battle going on. The defuse not going to come through. The shots were right on top of that spike. Can it happen again, however? The Viper's Pit, you know, obscuring everything, and it's just going to guess in you're hitting the spike where you knew you planted it, but where are they coming in angle-wise? Unfortunately, it's not going to be good enough to stop the defuse. Although I believe STEM Early College was able to... Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's a half. Never mind. I was like, save the operator. Great. But, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. And honestly, if you want to know how to counter an operator, you just saw it. The Viper's Pit. The Viper's Pit essentially makes the operator null and void. And not to mention, that was a beautifully placed Viper's Pit as well. They literally put the spike right on the other side of the edge of the Viper's Pit. So the spike and the defuser weren't even inside. So even if one of the aggressors, one of the attackers, were to get into proximity, they wouldn't be highlighted red. They wouldn't be able to see the spike or the defuser inside of the Viper's Pit. So again, perfectly placed, well executed, and a solidified win for Kern's Academy to finish off the first half. But now we're all back to the pistols as round 13 has officially started.
Kern's Academy now on the attack, stacked up in the B main. STEM Early College does have their KJ on that, so all the utility with it as well. Should be predicted by Kern's Academy, honestly. It's usually the first go-to. Grenade up there, I guess. Hoping to clear that particular position out, but then no follow-up from it.
Going to be taking a slow approach, you know. I mean, Kern's Academy, you know, they were pretty solidified on the defensive side, and it's going to be interesting to see how they are able to continue now that they get a chance on the offense. You can see they're really not risking much here, and they haven't thrown out too much utility, but they did commit the Viper Wall. So now that the Viper Wall is down, you know, they pretty much have to commit.
I was going to say, I mean, there's definitely been a little poking and prodding with some utility here, but nothing really... seemingly left. Whatever they did want to say, okay, we're gonna make a move, and that means that they haven't made a move, and the defenders have been able to get a little bit more set up, although they did try not to over rotate. So we have a couple defenders still over on A site, or into mid, I should say. There's still one over on A, so rotate certainly not possible, especially with 11 seconds.
left.
So left over, 2v3, 8 seconds, 7, 6, 5, and Spike's not going to be coming down, but maybe you can just get all these nice kills. That'd be nice. Midnight Doge can hide away, trying to take this 1v1. Does not do so. So STEM Early College will be able to defend, and we'll get another point on the board.
Yeah, that they will. And honestly, I'll be really surprised if we end up getting, you know, that 1-1 split, you know, off the pistol round, just because we got it last time. And, you know, it was the first time throughout the entire night that we managed to see, you know, the pistol round winners not take the second round immediately. But it is interesting to see that, you know, it is going to be Scotty Gotti Games taking out the Marshall. They are actually going to buy, even though they didn't win the pistol round. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not an expensive buy. It's 900 credits. Definitely not as much as most, but still it is a buy up on an eco round.
Yeah, a little surprised too. They're gonna, you know, you expect that to actually try and get a pick in the mid, but it's the Phoenix that's gonna perusing through mid, looking for someone situated incorrectly. Does avoid the sight of the Jets. If they're all gonna try and just push through B, sorry, A, good lord, guns blazing. The Marshall's really gonna help. Midnight Doge. Getting a pick as the smoke dissipated. It's kind of nice for them. Give Wins almost also got a Marshall, but decided not to. So. But they are now down. The Viper Wall obscuring things a little bit more. Vacant finally going to get taken down. 3v3 as the plants will come in for Kern's Academy. We could have another swap up here. 1-1 situation in the second half. Let's see the defenders coming in now for the retake.
We've already seen some pretty flawless executions of a retake here on Ascent, and it's usually involving a drop from heaven. So let's see if Kern's Academy, or rather STEM Early College, have any fallen angels that are going to be able to make that drop as Curse does push through, and they will be eliminated. Now a little gamer is going to be a little eliminated as it's Soccer to come away with a 4K to win the day for Kern's Academy, as they will once again look at a 4-round lead in their favor.
Yeah, nice. So it's got to feel good. 4K. And you took down the guy whose name is It's Soccer. I mean, is soccer really the best sport? Not really.
What? Well, hold on now. It's literally the sport of Earth. It is Earth's global sport.
Excuse you, America is the Earth, and it's not America's sport. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I want to see how many Europeans got angry and shot him. Kidding. Anyway, Midnight Doge getting that first pick and it's going to help the team tremendously. STEM Early College, and now rushing over to defend that B site, but it's already been broken a little bit. Although this is surprising twist, the Omen teleport coming in from the backside, trying to really complicate matters. Didn't complicate matters very much, honestly. It's Curse actually with the Marshall getting something done here. The long distance battles, something done, but not enough, not yet. 2v3 situation, of course, now they're known about as well. And it looks like instead of trying to combat this, which, well, maybe Kern's Academy could have done, they say, well, why bother? Let's just move somewhere else. Let's just go ahead and rotate over onto A, which STEM Early College, they got to pick up fast enough to actually stop them from doing so. And in fact, Midnight Doge might even be looking to catch them in their reception. Remaining. Exactly what happens. I mean, Curse was wary of it. Just couldn't get the shots in fast enough. And now it is all down 2-1. They're looking the wrong direction and blinded.
There can only be one
So that wasn't really a fair game. But Kern's Academy now in the double digits.
And that was such a great play coming from Midnight Doge as well. You know, going for the rotate instantly. And trust me, I do this all the time. My instinct is to go to site, secure site immediately. But Midnight Doge, they decided to go into flowers and decided to try and go towards the glass of heaven and also trying to catch them in mid-rotation. And they successfully done so. So they were able to, again, just find a proper position and kind of outmaneuver their opponents and then end up taking the 2 final eliminations by themselves. So again, a great play call and great execution coming from Kern's Academy.
You know they're close to winning this best of 1 and in groups. Initially, it might not feel like the most important match, but it quickly gets there. Firewall splitting it a little bit. There's going to be a successful plant. Somali onto heaven as well to deter anyone trying to stop that. And just the walls combined together. And utility there. And they knew that there's only a couple of ways that the defenders could enter. It means that they get to get all nice and comfy wherever they really want to be. Setting up crossfire is usually the way to go, but we just have 4 people stacked. That was like that. Can be a little dangerous. Of course, you know that someone's in hell, so we had the breach util that and pushes Soj away, but they're still in play. Vacant pop their Phoenix ults. They're trying very much there, and it's just trades galore. Ending in a 2v2. Midnight Doge.
Last player standing.
Still down there in hell.
Player
Might be able to
standing.
do this. Do find a potential 1v1. Plus, they could play around the spike, which I believe is the bigger problem. And the reason that Give wins, they just go ahead and back away right there. Midnight Doge gives up his life to ensure that that was actually going to detonate, but indeed it did. So 11 on the board for Kern's Academy.
Well, you know, that was the job, and the job was done. I mean, Midnight Doge and the rest of Kern's Academy, they didn't even have to win out the firefight. All they had to do was, you know, kill enough time off the clock in order for the spike to detonate, and they did so successfully. And not only that, but they now have a prime opportunity to put themselves onto match point. As again, you know, somewhat of a broken buy, nearly from STEM Early College. As you can see, not everybody has a full shield. It is going to be 2 quarter shields or half shields. And honestly, this is a must-win round for STEM Early College. If STEM Early College falls here, it is all but over.
Pretty much. Seen some miraculous holds on the match point with the subpar buys, but not something you really want to test. Midnight Doge starts things off good. Actually does get taken down, so use the Phoenix ult, but the origin point was found. So nicely done by a little gamer. 4v4 situation. The attacking lockdown does not successfully detain anyone, does give them the space to actually get the plant, of course. Give wins with the ops, trying to make some moves, but having some difficulty in this particular position. Oh, whoa, okay. I did not think that was going to be a kill, but it was, so nicely done. I was saying that they're having difficulty really finding those long-range battles out in the open, like an op would, but they still are able to make use of it. Now we're down to a 2v1 in favor of STEM Early College. Again, basically a must-win round for them. Taking care of Boathouse. Got the breach utility with the chill dagger coming out from the Omen teleport. I guess you kind of brought in everything there. The long-distance op, the mid-range rifles, and then the good old dagger, I suppose. And that will be a successful defuse. So that must-win round is won. There's hope still for STEM Early College.
Once and for all, you do see STEM Early College showing a little bite along with their bark. I mean, that was pretty ferocious, and I got to give it up to Give Wins, too. I was not expecting them to get that one op shot and to find the elimination as the smoke and the walls were coming out. My goodness, that was quite the shot. That was literally a pop shot. But with that being said, you know, it was still an expensive win for STEM Early College, as well as their economy still not in the best shape. So now you can see Midnight Doge able to get the read on Give Wins. The op is no longer, and that is one less thing that Kern's Academy has to worry about.
I don't think it is like literally the linchpin to STEM Early College's defense, but what a huge loss. The operator.
Too late, right there.
And of course, the person behind the controls got some revenge, but Midnight Doge just continues with a pretty dominant performance in this best of one. 4v3, STEM Early College can certainly make the defense happen. A little bit of knowledge thanks to the KJ utility there hitting Midnight Doge, but you know, they might know if there's potential flank and they actually do something about it. The Jet's gonna try and tango with Doge, does not end successfully, but STEM Early College looking at a couple other picks elsewhere. It's obviously super important. It is now only Midnight Doge. Can they do the 1v2? Now it's a 1v1, so I'd say absolutely they can do it. And it's just a matter of who's looking in the right direction. A little bit awkward, hippity-hoppity to try and scoop things up, and the reload from the opponent guarantees the victory, the 12th point, and the ace from Midnight Doge. Felt like it was a matter of time.
My goodness, Midnight Doge, undisputed MVP of the match and possibly the MVP of the night, without a doubt. The one and only ace to occur all day, and it's to put Kern's Academy onto match point in the last match of the night, forcing a broken bye onto STEM Early College. My goodness. Not only that, Midnight Doge dropping a whole 30 bomb and plus 5 more.
Yep. Feeling pretty good about this particular map. This best of one seems almost locked up. Let's see if STEM Early College can stop it in its tracks and then hit 6 more on the board too. I mean, that's the other problem. So many opportunities for Kern's Academy to win this overall, but they can do it right here, right now. They run it back in play. Utility being slapped down on the A sites. I mean, a lot of utility, honestly. The retake might be possible for STEM Early College. They're down 1. KJ ult comes down from them, so Kern's Academy is going to have to rethink their post-plant position. Maybe that's not so much of a problem. As they do evacuate the site, they're going to be able to return in and stop any defuse from coming in, the most important thing, and they're still up a man as well. Give Wins trying to escape is found out, and now it is a 4v1 match point here. All of it's on the line, and Curse is all alone. Unfortunately, the knives will not do it. Kern's Academy getting the 13-6, winning this best of one, setting themselves up well for the group. And what a performance from the Doge man. He was 30 bombing plus. He got the ace, which, like I said, felt like it was inevitable. It was like destiny, you know, that he was going to be able to get it. I mean, what a performance.
It was written in the stones.
Exactly.
It was written in the stones that Doge must prevail and get the only ace of the day, and for the last match of the day. You know, I was thinking that, you know, maybe we weren't even going to get an ace at all. But again, if anybody was going to do it, it's going to be Midnight Doge. So again, a fantastic match and a great back and forth there for sure. And I gotta, you know, I really just gotta give it up, you know, to Midnight Doge. Again, they just came through getting just so many eliminations, even though that wasn't the end all be all. Also want to give it up to Give Wins as well, you know, making some fantastic plays with the operator. There was just a lot of personality in that match, whether it came from, you know, the weapons that they were using, you know, the type of pushes they were making. I mean, the walls galore. My goodness, there was just endless amount of walls. It felt like between the Viper and the Phoenix, you know, just the use of utility really dissecting a lot of the map sites. It was quite a sight to see. Very visually pleasing, to say the least.
When both of them had the walls up, I was like, this is neon. except she's not going between them; she's going on the other side. But no, it was an interesting comp for both teams. But at the end of the day, I think we had a bit more of a standout star on the side of Kern's Academy. So they are going to take it, and we are done for the day. That's 4 best of 1 Valorant matches done and dusted. Going a little bit over the expected time, but that is Valorant, isn't it? Especially with so many overtimes to start things off. But we have a lot more. Again, there was a B stream today. There were a bunch of streams, matches that weren't even cast. There's so many teams playing. We'll be seeing more of them as the week continues. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday for those playoffs. So please stay tuned. More Valorant regional qualifier from the VESL here. We're going to be back here at the same place, same time tomorrow. So we look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye, guys.